All right, y'all. We get praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shemaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. We'll get this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. And there they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come by Abba's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe that we receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you. The Abba, there's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shemaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Shalom, Brother Herman. Isaiah 8 and 10. Take counsel together, and it shall come to naught. Speak the word, and it shall not stand for Elohim with us. For you who spake thus, Shalom, Eric, for you who spake thus to me with a strong hand, and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of this people, saying, say you not a confederacy. Peace, Brother Joseph. To all to whom this people shall say a confederacy. Shalom, Jay. Neither fear you their fear, nor be afraid. Sanctify Yahuwah of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense. To both of the houses of Yasharal, for a gin and for a snare. To the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Shalom me. And many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken, be snared and be taken. Peace, Brother Amon. Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples, and I'll wait upon Yahuwah that hide his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Behold, I and the sons whom Yahuwah have given me are for signs and for wonders for the house in the house of Yasharal from Yahuwah of hosts who dwell in Mount Zion. Shalom, 10K. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar ruachs, and to wizards that peep and that mutter, shall not a people seek unto their God, for the living to the dead. To the law, leave it alone. To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. We concluded Wednesday talking about the contradiction, so-called, of Exodus 20 and 8 and Romans 14 and 3. We'll look at the next thing that they perceive to be a contradiction. This again is coming from atheist.org. Let's come over here to Ecclesiastes 1 and 1. Shalom, Brother Robert. Verse 4 is what they're going to say where the, what you call it, contradiction come in at. Again, we talking about binding up a testimony, so that's going to get bound up in the midst of this. We kill two birds, one stone. Ecclesiastes 1 and 1.
Say the words of the preacher, the son of David, king of Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all vanity.
What profit?
Have a man of all his labor, which he take under the sun.
Pause. What profit?
Have a man of all his labor, which he
Shalom,
take under the sun.
Man. Shalom, Brother Marcus, man. Tell him what profit mean, man. You getting profit out here, man? You know, I prophesied my profit rise. You ain't never heard a dude say that on the song. The dude did, though.
That's Yethron, advantage, profit, excellency.
Give me Romans 3 and 1.
What advantage then have the Yahudim, or what profit of circumcision?
Paul, tell them what profit is there.
Ophelia, that is usefulness, advantage, profit.
Same
benefit.
Thing. What gives you the advantage? What gives you the ability to excel? What do you say after that?
Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of Elohim.
The word we give it to them. Listen.
For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Elohim without effect?
God said no.
Yea, let Elohim be true, but every man a liar.
Every man a liar.
As it is written, that you might be justified in your saying.
You might be what?
Justified in your saying.
You might be what?
Justified in your saying.
You got to be righteous in what you say. Tell them what sayings mean, man.
That's logos, speech, a word uttered by a living voice.
Justified by the word. Now, again, as we're looking in, give me Isaiah 34:16. As we're looking at these epistle letters, as of all, most of you who've been around here for an extended period of time already know this. Everything you read in the New Testament, you need to validate it in the Old. Everything you read in the Old Testament can be validated in the New. It is imperative that you be justified. We'll read it because Isaiah says this here. And what you say? I was just telling my homeboy this here, man, before we open the room. Shalom, that man. And I was telling about these two dudes had a debate. I was telling about another dude who liked to debate Israelites all the time. And I was telling them that in reality, these dudes are trash. Now, what do I mean by that? Because I'm not a debater, so I'm not talking about their debate skills. See, you can be a trash preacher and a great debater. So because someone's a great debater does not mean that they're a good preacher. It doesn't mean that. You know what I'm saying? Debating is not about preaching a word, contrary to popular belief. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about debating on how it is done in this current time frame. When you see them debating the word, say like in Acts 19, they were debating if Yahushua was the Son of God or not. You know what I'm saying? Those were the things that they were debating. They weren't sitting around debating virgin births or who was an Israelite, so on and so forth. That's not what they were doing. And I told them that these dudes are trash because you could take it to boxing, you could take it to basketball, you could take it whatever you want. If you are constantly playing the same people all the time, debating the same topics all the time, you only sharpen your skills in the topics that you are accustomed to debating your common opponents on a day-to-day basis. When you get that person outside of their comfort zone of debating the people who they're used to debating, you see that these people don't really know the word like that. And they get embarrassed. Case in point, some of you may know what I'm referring to. Some of you may not. There was this white man named James White, and he debated Ricard from GOCC, and he embarrassed that man. That doesn't mean that Ricard is an idiot. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that he's an unintelligent person, but he got out of his comfort zone because you used to talking about this and talking about that and talking about this and talking about that. And you got outside of dealing with somebody who don't talk about what you talk about all the time. You don't have moves in your bag. You don't have a counterpunch. You don't have anything to defend yourself against what they're coming with. Shalom, brother Dave, because you never took the time to learn the word in its totality. That's right. They can't adjust. That's why I tell you, you have to learn the word comprehensively. You can't learn it to destroy nobody's doctrine. That's the wrong attitude to have to begin with. If you're going into it because you want to cut up somebody's doctrine, you're always going to be trash. Shalom, my G. You always going to be trash. You get somebody, most of the dude who the Hebrew dude was debating today, all he likes to do is debate about how people are not Hebrew Israelites, or doctrines that pertain to Hebrew Israelism, as they like to say. You get him outside of that comfort zone, buddy is trash. He is trash. He is literally a level 1 preacher. Booty, basuda, dumpster juice, landfill residents. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you're not that nice. But when you're in a small circle of people and you're debating those people all the time, and the people who cheering you on, they think you wrong. Indeed, Asa, they think you wrong. I'm just letting you know that the stuff that we going through, we not going through. You're not going to be able to take that and do that with these people. Now, the only thing you would be able to do is to defend that Yahushua is the Son of God. But most of them don't want to have that conversation. Because most Old Testament people, they don't know the word well enough to have that conversation. So they're just going to start throwing ad homs and being rude and disrespectful and other things of that sort. And you'll walk away from that conversation. You know what I mean? So, well, I got you at good, sir.
Isaiah 34 and 16.
Listen to what he say right here.
Seek you out of the book of Yahuwah and read.
He wants you to do what?
Seek you out of the book of Yahuwah and read.
One more time.
Seek you out of the book of Yahuwah and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall wonder mate. For my mouth that I've commanded, and his rock that I've gathered them.
You got to take the book out and read. Yeah, they do mistake rage and angst as a calling sometimes. They ain't mistaking the Joseph. They know what they're doing. Niggas douchebags. You know what I'm talking about? Isaiah 53 and 10, but I understand what you're saying. But them niggas know what they're doing. And I just say that from being around them for an extended period of time. These people know what they're doing. And I'm going to be honest with you. These people know who to try and who not to try. You know what I was tripping on? Man, Cap and Gorilla Hebrew was debating no fugazi. You know the dude I'm talking about, the coolie nigga? The old green bean nigga with the braids? Man, I said, man, I'm like, Cap, boy, how y'all got on here with this goofball nigga, man? They dusted him too. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like that nigga, no fugazi. That nigga's gay in the literal sense. That man was sitting back talking about don't mess with single mothers and had a white single mother who had 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? And make content about this every day. You buster you. You know what I'm talking about? Don't lie to us. Darius, that's that dude. Remember the video I sent you when his brother was finna beat him up? He had some white dude with him. They wanted to debate Cap and Gorilla Hebrew the other night, man. I ain't looked at it yet. I probably never will. No disrespect to Cap. I just can't. Yeah, I just don't fool with Cooley, man. You know what I'm saying? If it's on Captain platform, I look at it. I ain't giving that nigga no clicks or views. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. If I had to look at it on No Fugazi platform, I ain't gonna never watch it. Cause boy, that boy won't make a dime out of me. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, I mean that from my soul, boy. I don't fool with that nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Absolutely not, bro. That nigga is lame, bro. Isaiah 53:10.
Yet it pleased Yahuwah to bruise him. He hath put to grief. When you shall make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see seed, he shall prolong days, and the pleasure of Yahuwah shall prosper in his hand.
Listen what he finna say.
He shall see the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied.
Listen what he finna say.
By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many.
By his what?
By my knowledge, by his knowledge.
By his what?
His knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many.
Tell him what knowledge is. Boy, say knowledge born. What's the science, baby? You don't know nothing about that. That's the knowledge of God. The knowledge of God. You know about that line right there, Civic? So you mean to tell me you don't know what that nigga say? Knowledge born. What's the science, baby? You don't know nothing about that? That's terrible. I can't be the only person to know what I'm talking about right now. I know I'm not the only person out of this. What we got? 25 out of the 24 some odd people. 26 I'm old lady. I know I ain't the only person that know what that is. Y'all mean to tell me y'all don't know what that is, man? Knowledge born. What's the science, baby? Oh no, that ain't no record. Shalom, Sister Regina. That ain't no record. That's a film, a feature motion picture. You know what I'm saying? I'm ashamed to say that I know you people at this present time. My God, today. Not for real, man. Y'all know what that is? That's one of the best parts of that movie. Maybe I'll help you out. Just to hear Method Man say that. Maybe that'll help you out. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting in the Chinese spot. He get the phone call. Omar know he get the phone call from Power from Wu-Tang Clan. That's from Belly, man. That nigga was in jail. He called Method Man to go to take out Rico. You know, I don't like them niggas. I'm gonna drop a dime on them niggas. He hit Method Man up. He say, man, knowledge born. What's the science, baby? He say it's wicked, God. Man, this nigga ain't never seen Belly. My God, you ain't never seen Belly?
We don't talk about this before.
Damn, Belly came out in 1998. Yeah, that's what he said. That's your man's. That's your man's. He said, put the weed in the bag. Didn't get money. You know what I'm saying? Dang, see,
I'll put it on my watch.
Yeah, we gonna have to cut Belly on for Civic, man. Golly. I mean, Belly, is it a great film? As far as thespian and cinematically, it is superb. You know what I'm saying? Cinematically, as far as camera angles, visuals, superb. As far as acting, above average. Slightly. It's mediocre.
Still for the time period?
No, the story made absolutely no sense whatsoever. You know what I'm talking about? But back then, man, it had DMX in it. It had Nas in it. You know what I'm saying? AZ was in it. Method Man was in it. You know what I'm saying? You're 18 years old. Well, you know what you want from us. At least I was. So you love the end and know the message for sure. You say DMX was drawing pentagrams. Yeah, he was too. We're gonna let that be what that is. You know what I'm saying? But he was though. Hey, stop. Leave your mama's shoes alone. You understand? Very well. It's gonna be a belt to your butt.
Why did mommy do?
Well, ask her then.
Why mommy already?
Go ask your mama. So listen, right? It's the knowledge. That's why he said, read it again. Romans 3, verse 1. This is stemming from Ecclesiastes 1 and 3, by the way. What profit have a man and all his labor under the sun? And I'm about to get to that in a moment.
So what advantage then have the Yahudim, or what profit of circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of Elohim. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Elohim without
God said no.
Yea, let Elohim be true, but every man a liar.
That's why we read that. That's why let the word be true. That's how the knowledge of his righteous servant will justify you. This is another example of justification by faith and not by the law. That's another example of that.
As it is written, that you might be justified in your sayings and might overcome when you are judged.
You might overcome when you are judged. What else, Paul?
But if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of Elohim, what shall we say?
If our unrighteousness, give me Psalms 116, man. Give me verse 8. Let me see what we got right there. Yeah. I need that one there. Psalms 116. Make it photo.
Then called I upon the name of Yahuwah, O Yahuwah, I beseech you, deliver my soul. Gracious is Yahuwah and righteous, yea, or Elohim merciful.
Read verse 5 again in case they missed it.
Gracious Yahuwah and righteous.
He's what?
Gracious.
Hold on, because we had another goofy nigga say this where there was a contradiction. This was in real time. Stanley heard this jackass. He said, gracious is who?
Yahuwah.
And
righteous.
And our Elohim is?
Merciful.
Now read me Ephesians 2 and 8, and I'm going to show you how stupid. So that's why I tell you, man, you got to be, niggas be looking for stuff to say, see, this is a contradiction. And the one thing that I be wanting you gentlemen to understand is, it's not about necessarily you winning a debate, because anything that we go through, number one, is for your edification. Number two is for you to be able to edify your wife and your children first. Not somebody in the street, not trying to win, because most of y'all are married, you got families. You know what I'm talking about? So your number one objective is to make sure that you pop them off. You know what I'm talking about? Then if you worry about people outside the door. Shalom, Mother Shalom. You know what I'm talking about? It's that simple. Now, if you get in a little fisticuffs on the way, a little gunplay, if you would, you know what I'm talking about? Then you can be prepared to hold your own. You know what I'm talking about? Got to earn your key. You know what I'm talking about? You know about that, regulators, you know what I'm saying? Good with the steel, you got to earn your key. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody know not to play with you. You know what I'm talking about? See, a lot of people know not to play with me. That's why I stay quiet and be off in the cut, because they don't really want no problems. You know what I'm saying? They don't really want them problems. But you need to make sure that you have an understanding of who you serve and what you believe and why you believe it as it is written. You know what I'm talking about? For yourself first. You know what I'm talking about? For yourself first. Not to prove something to some nigga you don't know. Not trying to say I got to wake somebody up to the truth, but to make sure you secure your soul first. Because you can't secure nobody till your soul is secure. You know what I'm talking about? You got to do that first. Then once you do that, you pop your people off. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, it's, it's whatever, you want to get in a little fisticuffs, you know what I mean? That's your thing. What you do. We've all been there. You know what I'm saying? I don't venture down them roads too tough no more. I just told her, Stanley, I told you this nigga will want me to start crashing them niggas' neck because them niggas be talking stupid, and sometimes I be wanting to crash these niggas' neck, and then I hear them talking, and I remember why I don't. You know what I'm saying? Then I remember why I don't want to talk to these people in that particular fashion. Because I ain't going to tell you no lie. Literally today we had a 4-hour debate about fondling a man's testicles, as forth as when the text say you stick your hand under a man's thigh. And they want to take that Hebrew word because it means thigh. One of the definitions is loins. And it means that these people were making oaths by grabbing testicles, even though we found the Hebrew words easily that let you know when it's directly referring to a man's genitalia. Shalom, Sister Kelly. Oh, but that's because you have people who their means, their desire is to invalidate the word. You have men that's all they want to do. They seek to find anything to say, see, these people gay. Why y'all following that? That's why people do that. That's why we looking at this stuff with these atheists. That's why we still have to look at this stuff about the New Testament. Oh, that's not the first time I've heard that conversation. It just happened to got drawn out because you had people there who actually understand the Hebrew language to be able to refute that argument. You know what I'm saying? These is not just people just arguing back and forth. There's sources being pulled of people saying this translates to this, this means this is the custom of this people. This is not no random. I said it like that because we were clowning like that. You know what I'm saying? Some of us in the chat like, why are we sitting here talking about, indeed, Joseph, talking about grabbing testicles? You know what I'm saying? But this was not just a vain and perverted conversation. The people who were on the other end of that spectrum with the word Iraq that he just mentioned were getting crashed. And I can share that information with you. That's what I'm telling you. You'll be surprised the debates and back and forth that you can have with people whose whole soul mission is to discredit Yahuwah. Y'all don't understand how serious that is, man. But it is, though. It is, though. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Say, for by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves.
And you say by grace you're what?
Are you saved through faith?
Now let me ask y'all a question. If Psalms 116:5 says gracious is Yahuwah, that's what it said, right? Mm-hmm. And then he said by grace you saved, right? Mm-hmm. Then read me Exodus 34:6, right? And tell me what that says.
Okay, and Yahuwah passed by before him and proclaimed, Yahuwah Elohim, merciful and gracious, long suffering.
He's merciful and what?
And gracious.
He's merciful and what?
And gracious.
My God, today.
Long suffering and abundant in goodness and truth.
What else?
Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin.
Peace, man. Shoot.
And that will by no means quit, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children.
So when he said Yahuwah is gracious, righteous, and our Elohim is merciful, that's what Psalm 116 said, right? Mm-hmm. Now read me Ephesians 2:8 one more time.
For by grace are you saved.
So if you're saved by grace, what are you actually saved by? Anyone. Based off what you just heard from Psalms 116 and Exodus 34. You say you meant to ask what's the reason some people are OT only? Because they don't accept that Yahusha is the Son of God, the Messiah, the Redeemer. Some of them say they don't accept the New Testament because they believe it's Greek writings. Faith, I can't argue with that answer. That ain't what I'm looking for, but it's close enough. Stuff like that, you know. So, mercy, I can't argue with that answer either. That ain't what I'm looking for, but it's close enough. Y'all like to say you got your hand on the stove, but pay attention, right? Read verse 5 of Psalms 116. Read Exodus 34, 6, 7, and 8. And if he say by grace you are saved, what you saved by? Brother Omar just told you, by God himself. You know what I'm talking about? So when they say by grace you are saved, by Yahuwah you are saved. Read 1 Samuel 2:25, what he got on there. You can make it 2:21. I'm trying to think of some of the other stuff they say. Because some of them believe that David is the actual Messiah. Or they don't believe that he fulfilled any of the Old Testament writings. Which is some of the debates and arguments that they had at the time that he walked the earth. So these are not like, it's not like it's a new thing, if you would. Everybody didn't accept him as the Son of God then. So everybody's not accepting him now. You know what I'm saying? Just is what it is. 1 Samuel 2:21, make it 20.
And Eli Baruch Elkanah his wife and said, Yahuwah give you seed of this woman for the loan which is lent to Yahuwah. And they went unto their own home. Yahuwah visited Hannah so that she conceived and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters. Mm-hmm. And the child Samuel grew before Yahuwah. Mm-hmm. Now Eli was very old and heard all that his sons did unto all Yasharal. And how they lay with the women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. He said unto them, why do you such things?
Why you do this?
For I hear of your evil dealings by all this people. Nay, my sons.
It's not good.
Report that I hear you make Yahuwah's people to transgress.
If one man sin against another,
the judge shall judge him.
But if a man sin against Yahuwah,
who shall entreat for him?
Notwithstanding,
they hearken not unto the voice of their father, because Yahuwah would slay them.
Go and tell them what entreat means. And we done talked about this passage before.
It's Palal. To intervene, to interpose, to pray, to mediate, to judge.
That's what we was reading about in Isaiah 59. Who gonna intercede for you? Who gonna mediate for you? Who gonna do that? We know man can't do it because he has to make an offering for himself and then for the sins of the people. And you got to come back every year and do it. It don't make the comers thereunto perfect. Hebrews 7:21. One thing I'm gonna tell y'all, gentlemen, and I'm not necessarily saying that y'all do this, but in case if you do or it does happen, you can't get frustrated with these people because they don't believe that he is the Son of God. Just walk away. Just walk away. That's what he told the apostles to do. He said, if they don't receive your testimony, dust your feet off. He didn't say keep going back and forth with them and make them believe on me. He said slide. See, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's the Anglo-Saxon European version of moving the word, of beating people into submission. The word don't teach that. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad might have went around and said Islam or the sword, but Yahushua never did that. He said they don't want to take it, let them sin, they'll go to hell later. But again, I can't stress this in no other different fashion. This man is not a simp. What do I mean by that? Simps force people to like them. Simps will do anything to make somebody like them when they know that they don't like them. Young lady posted a clip of some man on that popped a balloon, and he walked in there, and all the women popped their balloon before he got fully in the room. And all these people like, that's messed up and all this other type of stuff. And, the women gave some cockamamie excuses for why they did it. But the reality was clearly those women weren't attracted to that man. You know what I'm saying? Clearly. They weren't attracted to that man. See, a lot of people feel like, well, he said he got this. There is no accomplishment. There is no level of outfit. There is no amount of money that can make a woman who is not attracted to you be attracted to you. You know what I'm talking about? And you should not even want a woman who is not attracted to you. You know what I'm talking about? And what do I mean by that? To be is not to be vulgar at all. Her engine needs to be running at the hearing of your name, at the sound of your voice, at the similitude of your presence. You know what I'm talking about? Her desire should flow. You know what I'm talking about? Because we were having a conversation on Threads, and the dude said that, why is it, man, if that woman like you, man, you ain't got to do all that foreplay and all that extra stuff. These people, you got to get her mind ready all day long. You ain't got to do that if that woman like you. You ain't got to do none of that. She was already ready when she woke up and seen you laying in the bed with slob in your mouth. She didn't care. She like, I like that nigga there. I love him. He get him something right now. I don't care. You only have to do that when she don't like you, when she's tolerating you. That's pity vagina. So what does that mean, translating it over what we're discussing? If you don't really love God like that, if you don't really like Yahuwah like that, you know what I'm talking about? Straight up, you ain't got to get, she always ready. You know what I'm talking about? Always. People who like that, that's why they give half-hearted effort in serving God, because they don't like him like that. You know what I'm talking about? Especially if they were forced into it. You know what I'm talking about? And how do you relate that? That's the dude that always hollering at a woman. Every time she see him, he at her, 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 he at her. Y'all think that's what you supposed to do. Bro, if you got to do all that, that woman don't like you. You think when she buckled down and now she want to fool with you, you done did what you was supposed to do. Nah, she like just bumping so he'll leave me alone. And now she with you thinking about another dude. What's the translation with that? You with Yahuwah, but you think about another God. That God might be your own lust. You know what I'm talking about? That woman don't like, you don't have to do none of that with a woman who likes you. None of it. Give me Psalms 118. I show it to you out the book. Where my verse at with it, man? It might be in Samuel or Chronicles, I should say. But I think it's the same song. Hold on. And a lot of people don't realize that. You know what I'm saying? If you got to keep hitting somebody across the head with the word over and over again, that don't necessarily mean that they won't serve him with their whole mind, heart, and soul. But usually, when people hear the gospel the first time, they gone. I ain't gonna lie to you, they gone. You usually don't. You don't really. It's Psalms 18. I told you 118. That's my bad. It's Psalms 18. Psalms 18. Give me verse 38. Listen to what it say. We still holding Psalms 116. I'm good in Romans 3. We'll read Hebrews 7 and 21, and we're holding Ecclesiastes 1. Come on with it. Psalms 18, verse 38.
I have wounded them that they were not able to rise. They are fallen under my feet.
For you have girded me
with strength unto the battle. You have subdued under me those that rose up against me.
You have given me
the necks of my enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me.
They cried,
but none to save
unto Yahuwah.
But he answered them not.
Then did I beat them,
small as the dust before the wind.
I did cast them out,
as the dirt in the streets.
You have delivered me
from the strivings of the people.
You have made me the head
of the heathen.
The people whom
I have not known shall serve me.
A people whom
I have not known shall
and
serve
as soon as they hear of me,
they shall obey me.
Soon as they hear of me,
they shall obey me.
As soon as they hear of me,
they shall obey
the
me.
strangers
shall submit themselves unto
me.
me.
As soon as they hear of me, they'll obey. You ain't got to do that, man. That's why he said first. That's why Paul say first admonition, second admonition, third admonition, reject. You don't do that. I've told you that plenty of times. You're devaluing yourself when you do that. When you know that who and what you have is valuable, you don't beg anybody. You don't chase anybody. You know what I'm saying? See, people think when he say he's seeking sheep out that he chasing them. Nah, he'll come look for you. He'll offer the extend the offer, but he's not finna chase you. He's not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Because people do that in the flesh. You think God's supposed to do that. You think his servant's supposed to do that. Ain't nobody finna chase you, man. Because if you're running, that means that ain't what you want. That's not what you want. Get a Matthew 10, man. Read me verse 13. Tell me what that says. Every now and then we have to, I'm telling you, man, you get better service when they like you. Have you noticed the people who genuinely take kafats in Yahuwah, that serve him with a ready heart and a willing mind, that they delight in everything that this man got to do, everything that pertains to him? When you sit back and look at, I got to get up for Sabbath again, I got to do this again, and you're doing it begrudgingly, and you're moving slow, and you're not on time, and you don't show up, and you don't do this, and you don't do that, but everything else other in life, you can be on time for, and you do that with excitement and joy. You don't like him like that. You don't like him like that. Because if you took pleasure in him, it brings you nothing but pleasure to be in his presence. Anything that's a part of him, anything that got anything to do with him, it brings joy to your soul. When you don't like him like that, I'll stay in the bed. You know what I'm talking about? You got to think about that. You can read 1 Chronicles 28:9 after that. Go ahead. Matthew 10 and 12. Well, 13.
It's saying, if the house be worthy, let your shalom come upon it. But if it be not worthy, let your shalom return to you.
We'll give him 12, man.
When you come into a house, salute it.
Do what to it?
Salute it.
What else?
And if the house be worthy, let your shalom come upon it.
That's right.
But if it be not worthy, let your shalom return to you.
Come on with that.
Whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words.
Whosoever shall not what?
Receive you.
Whosoever not what?
Receive you.
Or your
words.
So notice he didn't say just the words. He said, man, if they don't even want to fool with you, what did he tell them?
When you depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet.
Screw them.
Truly, I say unto you, shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment.
You know what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah, and he said it's going to be more tolerable for them. What else he say?
Behold, I send you forth as a sheep in the midst of wolves. Be you therefore wise as serpents
and harmless
as doves.
They ain't got to say no more. Now, if the Lord sent the men who he handpicked as his messengers, as his ambassadors, and he told the man, if they ain't hearing what you talking about, the slide, why you not doing that? Don't devalue this man's word. Don't devalue him by begging people to love him. Because I'm not finna beg nobody to love this man. If that ain't what you want to do, I'm not finna keep talking to you, man. But people think that's what you're supposed to do if you really love. Man, sit your goofy behind down somewhere, you low self-esteem having nigga. You think that's proof of love. That's not proof of love, man. That's proof of desperation. That's proof of pride. That's proof of ego. Because if you love your God, you walk away. Shalom, Brother Ernest. You walk away. And not just with the word, but in life, period. Man, if that woman don't like you, man, leave that woman alone, man. Because you'll run across a woman who will like you. And you ain't got to do none of that. Come on, man. What I told you?
First Chronicles.
Yeah, 2089. Man, yeah, man, that's done crazy, man. You got to apply pressure. Man, you apply pressure to wounds. You know what I'm talking about? That's what you apply pressure to is wounds. Do you understand what happens when pressure gets applied to your body? You die. I'm not applying pressure to you. That means you're a wound. You know what I'm talking about? It means you're damaged. I don't want to do that. You know, one of the first lessons you're supposed to learn that, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you look at, I was just going to mention it, when you look at Family Matters, but it's not just Family Matters. They put this in every teenage sitcom. He chasing after Laura who don't even want him. And you have Myra right there who loves your dirty drawers. But they think it's true love. Chase that, get the woman you want. Man, bump that hoe. This girl right here like me right now. And she look better. And she's smarter. I know that's right, Brother Herman. And she's smarter. It's like, come on, man. Don't live your life like that, man. It ain't worth it. Value yourself. Go ahead.
And you, Solomon, my son, know you the Elohim of your father, and serve him with a perfect heart.
And a what?
And a willing mind.
Willing is kafas. Man, have delight in your layup, man, to serve this man.
For you who will search all hearts.
He do what?
He search all hearts.
See, we think this man, you don't think this man know your inward man, that the fact that he don't know that you don't like him like that. He already know you don't like him like that. You know why? Because he puts you in life situations to expose the fact that you don't like him like that. Go ahead.
It says, and understand all the imaginations of the thoughts. If you seek him, he will be found.
Mm-hmm.
But if you forsake him,
he will forsake you
forever.
Look here. That man say you don't want to fool with him. He don't want to fool with you either. You know that what he said, if you abandon him, he didn't say he was going to chase you, did he? What he said he would do?
Cast you off.
He going to forsake you. He said, now, if you, see, a lot of people like to read this Hebrews 13, take it out of context. Get Hebrews 13 and 5. We were talking about this conversation. Buddy asked me about this. I got a couple stuff to hit y'all up with somebody asked me about, man. You know what I'm talking about? Buddy asked about the marriage bed. I said, let me tell you something, man. Because you know a lot of brews that tell you, marriage bed undefiled, you can do whatever. Man, if you having anal sex with your wife, bro, your bed is defiled and you a homosexual. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about I don't care who doing the pegging. You doing the bending? Ain't nobody bending me over. You know what I'm saying? But people who into that's not even talking about that. But what I was telling the dude last night was, if you old freaky behind nigga, you was 69 God, you gonna come up with any justification, period, to justify whatever it is that you want to do. And I'm not finna sit here and go back and forth with nobody about nothing when it's apparent that this is what you want to do. You know what I'm talking about? You can make it verse 1. I'm not finna do that. You know what I'm talking about? Man, if you want to eat booty and do all that old freaking nasty stuff, hey, man, take that up with the Lord, bro. I'm not going to be going back and forth with you about that. The married bill undefiled. Okay, bro. That just means you can do whatever in there because you're married. That's not what that's talking about. What the extracurricular stuff, that's a different conversation than what's in Hebrews 13. You know what I'm saying? Because Hebrews 13 not talking about that. Go ahead.
And let brotherly love continue.
That's right.
Be not forgetful to entertain strangers.
That's right.
Thereby, some have entertained Malachim unaware.
You already know where that come from. Whether it was how The priest from Bethlehem, Yehuda, people treated no, I'm tripping. I'm sorry. How Lot treated them strangers, how Samson parents treated them people. Man, you know, and I gotta say it because niggas love to say it. That's not an angel if you drinking on slick smoke liquor, man. If that man is standing outside smoking cigarettes, drinking beer, bro, that's not an angel, bro. Ain't no angel coming down from heaven trying to blend in, smoking cigarettes and malt liquor, man. You know what I'm saying? But you know, a lot of black people believe that. A lot of people believe that. I believe that woman was an angel. You don't have any examples of an angel coming in a female form. You don't. I'm not here sitting here to argue or go back and forth about it or be like, what about the wind? I ain't got time for none of that. You just don't have a scriptural example for it. Therefore, I can't say, if you say that was an angel, was a woman, and somebody say where that's at in the book, what you gonna tell them? You can't tell them what you want to tell them if what you saying don't line up with the word, that you might be justified in your sayings. Because it's got to line up with the word. You know what I'm talking about? Joshua 5 as well, indeed. It's got to line up with the word. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I have no personal investment. I don't care if there's female or male, female angels or not. What does that mean to me? I ain't sitting right here like, they do that. I don't care enough. It's not that serious. For me, I can't speak for nobody else. It's not that serious. Because if I can find it in the text and I see it, then that's what I'm going to say. I can't find that in there, but you know why? Because it ain't there. You know what I'm saying? I can't make it be there to satisfy you. That's when you remember what Paul told him, man. He said, should I please men or should I please Elohim? If I seek to please men, I would not be the servant of a Mashiach. It's not my job to say what you want me to say to justify you in your own brain. I ain't going to hell to make you feel bad about yourself. I surely ain't. And I don't care who don't like it, who unsubscribe, who don't like me, what that mean to me. I ain't know you before. One thing, boy, my granddaddy told me, man, well, why you care if a nigga don't like you? What that mean to you? You walk around here upset because people don't like you? That's insane. Let me tell y'all something. Niggas don't like God. You know what I'm talking about? And they ain't never met him. So if niggas don't like God, why you care they don't like you? Have you ever thought about that before in all your days? If they don't like Yahuwah and they ain't never seen him, why you care if they don't like you? Man, you better get that people pleasing stuff up out of you, man. That junk gonna be the death of you. Around here wondering, why they don't like me? Why you care? I'm talking about people. See, I'm not talking about people you got a relationship, because somebody you got a relationship with, and you know what I'm saying, them disliking you is probably not gonna happen. They may be upset with you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might be at odds, but there ain't no dislike. Because if you're somebody you fool with, like y'all really fool with each other, and it get the dislike, that means somebody crossed a strong boundary. You know what I'm talking about? Because if it get the dislike, that means they never liked you to begin with. And hey, that's their loss. He said, I just told my two daughters that same thing earlier today. I know that's right. And you know, that's something you have to tell women a lot, because women are more socialized to want to be liked and accepted. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just reality. It's how they're wired. Does that mean every woman's like that? Of course not. But in general, most women, they're social creatures. They want to be accepted. They don't like to be shunned. They want to be liked. Being disliked troubles a lot of them. They want to understand, well, you know, can I bring her some cookie? What can I do? Nothing. She don't like you. Why do you care why she don't like you? I'm not finna ask a nigga why they don't like me. I don't care. This is what am I, an investigative reporter? If somebody don't like you and you ain't never had no interaction with them, that's the sign that that person has a mental problem. So it's best for you not to find out. Because someone who can dislike you and they have never had an interaction with you, how can you dislike someone you don't know? I never understood that one. I don't like that nigga. Do you know him? Nah. How you don't like? You don't even know this man. You don't even know this man. He ain't even heard what he stood for. He just don't like it. How you don't like somebody you don't know? Yeah, they're creating stuff. I don't know that, man. Like somebody said something, I do to me, you just don't like me. I say, I don't know you not to like you. I just don't agree with you. That doesn't mean I don't like you. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. I don't know you. And to not like someone is very strong words. You know what I'm saying? Very strong words. It's not too many people on this earth that I don't like. I've told you this, but there's people I don't care to be around. I don't particularly care to share the same space as you, just based on how you behave. But to say that you don't like somebody, that's a lie. People like to say hate's a strong word. Saying you don't like somebody is a strong word. There's some people you may not get along with, but to say do you understand what that means when you say you dislike someone?
No, what does it mean, brother?
Them strong words. Give me Proverbs 3. Omar put that in the 3 and 30. Dwayne Jamal.
Oh, he's so you talking to yourself.
Oh, that's Joanne. To dislike someone is to have a feeling of disapproval or aversion. You know what it means to be averse to somebody? That's an even stronger word. See this here, a strong feeling of not liking or approving. I'm trying to see some synonyms. You know, we like to see the synonym. It says dislike an emotion. Yes. So to dislike somebody, you in your feelings. I guess you know. Why you in your feelings? Nah, it just say dislike period is emotional. Nah, see, text-wise it says they hated me without a cause. So, of course, we know hate is a whole another scenario. Damn. For the synonyms for dislike, are you ready? First one, hatred. Distaste. An aversion. Disapproval. Disgust. Disinclination. A loathing. A repulsion. Antipathy. Abhorrence.
See how they go hand in hand.
Yeah, that's true. To dislike somebody is to say you hate them. I just looked up and seen what you put up there, Monte. Clearly from these synonyms, there is no difference between dislike and hatred. Because to abhor somebody,
same thing.
That's a strong word, boy. That means an abomination to you. You know what I'm talking about? I would say them strong words. You say, I may not hate George, but I don't like being in the same room. Oh, man. If you don't like someone's ways, no, that's different. Because that's how I was raised. I was raised not to dislike people, but to dislike their ways. Monte say to go hand in hand is crazy work.
Man, we talking about words, man. Talking about words.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's because to dislike someone or hate somebody, like I said, it's an emotion. That means you got too much energy invested in another person. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be careful with that because that dislike and can turn into a strong hatred, which can turn into murder. And of course, it's going to go into what he told you in 1 John. Going to get it for him, Sylvia. 3 and 7 will do it. Hey, stop playing with them cushions. Get your square head behind up. Fix my couch. Go ahead.
Is that John 3 and 7?
1 John 3 and 7.
Say, little children, let no man deceive you. He that do righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. Mm-hmm. He that commits sin is of the devil. The devil sinned from the beginning. From the beginning. For this purpose, the son of Elohim was manifested. That he might destroy the works of the devil. Come on. Whosoever is born of Elohim do not commit sin. Don't do it. For his seed remain in him. He cannot sin because he is born of Elohim. Come on. And this the children of Elohim are manifest. And the children of the devil. Go ahead. Whosoever do not righteousness is not of Elohim. Go ahead. Neither he that love not his brother. He that love not his who? His brother. He that love not his who? His brother. What did he say after that? So this is the message that you have heard from the beginning. What's that message? Love one another. That you should what? Love one another. Come on. Not as Cain was. Not as who? Not as Cain.
Not as who?
Not as Cain.
Who was of?
That wicked one.
What happened?
And slew his brother.
What happened after that?
Wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil.
What happened after
and his
that?
brothers righteous.
Come on, man. Go ahead.
Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hates you.
Marvel not.
We know that we have passed from death unto life.
Like when we do what?
Because we love the brethren. He that love not his brother abide in death.
If you don't love your brother, you abide in death. To have dislike or hatred for him mean you dead. You know what I'm talking about? Because if you dislike them, that means you're in your flesh. See, a lot of people think people dislike somebody if they don't want to fool with them. See, not fooling with somebody don't mean that you don't like them. It just means I can't allow you into my personal space based off of your conduct. That don't mean if you hungry, I'm not going to feed you. And if you naked, I'm not going to clothe you. Because a lot of people are unmerciful. Because again, you can look at somebody and say, I don't have a problem with you. I hate your ways. Because some people are not necessarily bad people. They just got bad ways. And you have to be able to make the difference between the two. Some people are evil people. You know what I'm saying? Let's not get that twisted. Some people are just outright evil people with evil ways. Some people are not cognizant of their evil ways. Go ahead. Listen what he said. What verse you in?
15.
1 John 3 and 15. Listen to
Say,
it.
whosoever hate his brother is a murderer. And you know that no murderer have eternal life.
Boy, if you dislike your brother, and now he talking about somebody who in the word now. How you dislike some, because guess what? If you dislike somebody who in the word, guess who you really dislike? Uh-oh. Well, you dislike the Lord. Listen to him.
Hereby perceive we the love of Elohim because he laid down his life for us.
He did what?
He laid down his life for
we
us.
ought to do what?
Lay down lives for the brethren.
My God, today. You see how that still tie into that Yahuwah is gracious shalom? You see how that tie into that? You see how that works? My God, today. Yeah, dislike, hatred, you can't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I notice you say your brother, but you don't even want to do that with people who ain't in the word. Just for the simple fact of, this is on a natural level. I ain't talking about word, right? I'm talking about on a natural level. Walking around with a strong level of dislike and hatred towards another person has no effect on anyone but you. You know what I'm saying? You disliking and hating them does nothing to them. It causes you mental anguish. It causes you mental stress. It causes an imbalance in the algorithm of your body. Not only that, you're investing too many thoughts, feelings, and emotions into other people. And it serves you no purpose. You know what I'm talking about? You should not be giving that much power and energy to another person who are doing things that you don't particularly care for. That's insane. You know what I'm talking about? And you walking around mad. I'm going to tell you, that nigga ain't mad. That nigga going about his life and like, F you. You know what I'm saying? Because he know you don't like him and he don't care. Because he know that you bothered. And if he evil enough, he going to do stuff on purpose to antagonize you because he know you don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man. You know, I've been told y'all about that, man. You got to stop giving your power to other people. You got to stop letting people trigger you. People triggering you, that means they got power over you. The only person who should have power over you is your God. Words shouldn't trigger you. People's actions shouldn't trigger you. You're giving your power away. Now, I'm just telling you something that I was taught as a young man, so I've lived my entire life by that before I knew anything about God. This is what my people told me. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? This is when you got to have mastery over yourself. No one is responsible for your behavior but you. You can't blame another person for how you responded. They're not responsible for that. You are. So what he called you a dirty face hoe? If you ain't a dirty face hoe, what you care for? And if you is a dirty face hoe, then be like, well, I'm the best dirty face hoe this side of the Mississippi. When I say that, meaning you own it. If somebody say something about you, man, and it's the truth, then own it. You know what happens when you own it? It takes all the power that they're trying to wield by using that against you. So just own it and move on. You give too much energy, you give too much stress, you give too much thought about things that don't matter. You worry about if people like you or not. Who gives a damn? You know what Denzel said. Now, I know you know that movie, nigga. He said, you best not be worried about if they like you. You best be worried that they do right by you. That's the only thing you ought to be worried about. Who cares if they like you? You walk around worrying that somebody like you. Oh, they don't like me. That means they hate you. That's a personal problem. You know you got to have, oh, you already know, but I just ain't want to use them words, man. Because my granddaddy told me what Bernie Mac said in House Party 2. He just didn't curse. He said, if they don't like you, he said, F them. F them up the butt. That's what he said. All that, man. He was clowning with it. But my granddaddy told me if they don't like you, screw them. Said screw them. Don't worry about if somebody don't like you. You know who you need to worry about if they like you? Yahuwah. Screw if the world don't like you. Sure, that's a whole different conversation. To be honest with you, no disrespect, most of y'all don't like yourself. You know what I'm talking about? And that could be for a multitude of reasons, but that's another conversation. And I'm not clinically certified to have that conversation with you. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm not being funny. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's a different conversation. Most people don't like themselves. So it's going to be very difficult. Finish that out for me. Leave stuff alone. Put it back. Yeah, it's Garney. Come on.
Verse 17.
Verse 17, 1 John 3.
But whoso have this world's good and see his brother have need and shut up his mouth.
That's good. I think we read. That man said, boy, if you hate your brother, man, you a murderer, man. Man, you can't be on that. I'm be honest with you, man. Most human beings are way more emotional than they like to give themselves credit for. You know what I'm saying? Dude got emotional because we had it. I know some of y'all probably seen that post going around where they was like, if a man got multiple women, he'll probably mess with men. And my dog was like, I remember when he told me that. Then I'm like, he told me ain't no heterosexual man doing that. I'm like, bro, clearly if he's having sex with a man, he's not heterosexual. I mean, obviously, that should go without saying. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, clearly this person has these tendencies. But this is somebody who's burning in lust. They don't care how they fulfill it. You know what I'm saying? He say, John Henry Clark, look in the mirror and you see no friend, you have no friends. My God, today. He ain't lied. You know what I'm saying? But what I mentioned to him that for is that, hey, man, it's just an emotional thing. It's a desire thing. Most people spend entirely too much time in their emotions. I've told you as a man, you ain't got no business in your emotions. Ever. You know what I'm talking about? I didn't say that you shouldn't have emotions. I didn't say you shouldn't feel emotions. I say you shouldn't be in them. There is a difference. You know what I'm talking about? You can feel sad. You don't need to be in sadness. You know what I'm talking about? It's gonna have a negative effect on your brain. You know what I'm talking about? You can feel anger. You don't need to be in the anger. You might kill someone. You know what I'm talking about? But you can't be in your feelings. You need to be in God. You can't be in God and be in your feelings at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive. It's not possible. He told you the carnal mind is enmity with the law of Elohim, and it's not subject to it. Your feelings cannot be subjected under the foot of God. It's not possible. It's not possible. It can't happen. Not because I don't want it to happen, because he said it can't happen. And if you've been living long enough, you know it can't happen. Because the spirit and the flesh are at war with each other at all times. And the flesh will not allow you to do what you ought to do according to the Spirit of God. So you have to forsake that. You dig? There's no way. He said the carnal mind is death. The spiritual mind is life and peace. Which one you going to choose? Because you can't be in both. Come on, man. Read me Hebrews 7:21. You know, we dealing with the contradictory stuff, but I don't really be wanting to give, you know what I'm saying? Because we can just run that stuff down, but we can deal with more important things than just trying to prove an atheist wrong, because who cares? But come on.
So for those priests were made without an oath, but this with an oath by him that said unto him,
What he
Lord
say?
swear and will not repent.
He won't repent.
You will preach forever after the order of Melchizedek.
After the order of Melchizedek.
By so much was Yahushua made a surety of a better testament. And they truly were many priests, because they were not suffered to continue by reason of death. But this, because he continued forever, have an unchangeable priesthood.
Unchangeable, baby.
Wherefore he is able also to save them to the uttermost that came unto Elohim by him.
Listen.
Seeing he ever lived to make intercession.
Ever lived to make what?
Intercession for them.
That's what he said in 1 Samuel 2 and 25, right? Come on.
For such a high priest became us, Kadash, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, made higher than Shamahim.
Higher.
Who need not daily, as those high priests, to offer up sacrifice, first for his own sins, and then for the people's. For this he did once, when he offered up himself. For the law make men high priests, which have infirmity, but the word of the oath, which was since the law, make the Son, who is consecrated forevermore.
That's right. Listen, we didn't read the Proverbs 3 yet. Come on back to Proverbs 3. I got it. What we holding? Ecclesiastes 1, right? Psalms 116, right? Ephesians 2 and 8, and then what Buddy said was contradictory from Ephesians 2, and then we'll move on. But Proverbs 3 and 21, everybody. Proverbs 3 and 21. Proverbs 3 and 21. And it says, my son, hold on, let me back him up. Verse 18. It's referring to wisdom. She, a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her. Happy is everyone that retain her. I want you to tell him what happy is. I want you to tell him what retain. Wisdom is a tree of life. What does that mean? You know the tree of life? Bring forth faith. You know wisdom is kokma, that skill. You know Yahushua has been made unto you wisdom. He told you to be wise as a what? Serpent, harmless as a dove. That means having cunning and skill. When you have wisdom, you have everlasting life if you lay hold on it. And then he say, if happy, which is, I know what it is. And what that means.
To go straight, to walk, to go on, to advance, to make progress, to be advanced, to be made happy, to be baruch.
To be baruch, to be made happy, to be blessed, to be increased. And then, and happy is those that what? Retainer. What is retain?
That's tamak, to grasp.
To grasp, to hold on to.
Lay hold of.
So why you ain't laid hold to the Son of God yet if he been made unto you wisdom, righteousness, and sanctification? Why have you not done that? And how do you lay hold on to him? Remember, we read about that in Job 28:28. You got to lay hold to the testimony. See, we was having a conversation with a dude. I let him live because he didn't know what he was talking about. Because they were talking about the spirit, this, that, there, and the third. I say, well, how do you get it? Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. I know you don't know God when you give me that answer. Read Psalms 116 and 5. Let's eliminate that. Psalms 116 and 5. Come on with it.
Gracious, Yahuwah, and righteous.
He's gracious as who?
And righteous.
And
yea, are Elohim merciful.
Come read Ephesians 2 and 8 again.
Say, for by grace are you saved through faith.
So by Yahuwah you saved through what?
Through faith.
Ain't that's how your forefathers were saved out of Egypt? My God, today. Come on.
And that not of yourselves, the gift of Elohim.
It's the gift of who?
Of Elohim.
Now this is what he was trying to say was contradictory. James 2 and 17. Listen.
Even so, faith, if it have not works, is dead.
He say that's contradictory because he say faith without works is dead, being alone. But he say by faith, grace, you are saved. I said, well, this nigga stupid. Because, of course, when you read James 2, it's giving you examples of who? Abraham and Rahab. These were two individuals who moved off a word. So, see, it wasn't just they believed the word. They moved according to the word. That's how faith without works is dead. Faith without works ain't got nothing to do with you keeping no law, statutes, and commandments because the man ain't never promised you no law, man. You can't read nowhere where he promised anybody some precepts. He ain't promised Abraham no precepts. He say, see this land? I'm going to give it to your seed. He said, I'll make of you a great nation. Kings will come up out of you. He never promised this man, thou shalt not. You know why? It was already in the earth, silly. See, these dudes want you to believe that the law wasn't until Moses came around. No, the law wasn't into one particular nation group until that particular time. If you think this man flooded the whole earth and the law wasn't in it, that means he unjust, man. The man said they corrupted the way of Yahuwah. Well, the way of Yahuwah is the way is the rock. That's a way of life. What is his way of life? I'll tell you what his way of life is. Isaiah 35:8. That's what his way of life is. Listen to it.
And the highway shall be there, and the way, and it shall be called the way of Kadash.
The way of what?
Kadash.
The way of holiness, the way of Kadash, the way of being set apart. That is his way. And if you think that set apart way wasn't in the earth till Mount Sinai, man, them people done lied to you. They done sold you some spiritual crack. Boy, you geeked up. They got you zooted and booted, man. They got you going insane. Because when you read James 2, he talking about when he told him to go sacrifice his son. It's telling you about when Ahab hid the spies because she heard what Yahuwah did to the Egyptians. What do you want, Joanne? Go back to Psalms 116:5. You going to bed. You ain't sitting over here with that tomfoolery. Come on.
Gracious Yahuwah and righteous, yea, are Elohim merciful. Yahuwah preserved the simple. I was brought low and he helped me.
That's right.
Return unto your rest, O my soul.
Listen.
For Yahuwah have dealt bountifully with you.
Talk to him.
For you have delivered my soul from death, my eyes from tears, and my feet from falling.
From falling.
I will walk before Yahuwah in the land of the living.
That's right.
I believe, therefore have I spoken.
I what?
I believe, therefore have I spoken.
And in my haste.
Oh, I said all men are liars.
See, Paul, that's why he said, let Elohim be true and every man be a liar. On top of it, he said that Elohim is not a man, that he should lie, nor the son of a man, that he should repent. If he said it, shall he not do it? The gentleman, this is why, and I can tell you this here, and I always mention this when I say this, because my muffin can tell you this, because I told her this from the first day when she decided that this is what she wanted to do. When you go in these epistle letters, you must validate them according to Genesis to Malachi to be able to understand what he is saying and why he is saying it. And individuals who don't believe in these epistle letters, because they don't actually believe Genesis to Malachi, they think this man making this stuff up. You know what I'm talking about? Because the word just flow out the man's mouth. When the word in you, that's how that goes. He told you that the ruach would be out of your belly, flowing rivers of living water. He said the man of understanding is a wellspring of life. The word flow out. That's how it's supposed to be. But see, these niggas don't believe the word and they don't have no spirit, so don't no word flow out of them in their conversation. That's why they always screaming book, chapter, and verse. That's why the man say, he that is of God, hear God's words. You hear them not because you are not of God. They didn't have no book, chapter, and verse back then, man. What? Well, that's unfortunate. Go ahead.
So what shall I render unto Yahuwah for all his benefits toward me? I will take the cup of salvation.
You'll do what?
I'll take the cup of salvation.
You'll take the cup of what?
Salvation.
See, I'm going to talk to y'all about that because I had a conversation with a nigga about that trying to be slick. Man, this nigga, man, we talked to this nigga yesterday, man, and I told him, I said, yeah, man, we don't live a life of sin. So you saying you sinless? I didn't say that. You know what this man told me, man? He said, you married? I said, yeah. He said, how long you been married? I say, about 4 years. Oh, yeah, you done cheated on your wife. You done cheated on your wife. I say, well, damn. I say, why you trying to put that on me, Ricky Bobby? But no, but he's saying he used to be a deacon in his church, and he was telling a story about the pastor was talking after they were counting up the tithes and offerings. He was talking about a woman who was on the front row with no drawers on. And then he said the pastor sent him down there the following week to do something, and the same woman was down there with no drawers on, and he was peeking and geeking. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because individuals be projecting. See, Ozzy was there. He know what I'm talking about. People be projecting on you what they were doing because he said that immediately. Oh, you done cheated on your wife. Like, good Lord, because that's what you did. I got to do it. Because me personally, if I felt the need that I just wanted to just be around here just having sex with whoever, then I just wouldn't have gotten married. Like, why do that? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, bro, why lie? If I wanted 3-4 different women, then I just would tell her that. Why lie? If that's the life you want to live, if that's the life I want to live, I'm going to live it. I'm not finna be living a lie. That's too much energy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't even got nothing to do with no word, bro. Just in general, that is too much energy, bro. To try to pretend to be this while over here doing that, I ain't got enough time, energy, or desire to be doing all that. You know what I'm talking about? I gotta be hiding here and high. Man, we was having a conversation. Man, sister told her husband used to wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning and tell her to make him freshly squeezed juice. Not freshly squeezed, freshly pressed. I say, damn. I wouldn't want a nigga to wake me up in the middle of the night for nothing, much less some juice.
Thirsty, man.
Man, ain't that much thirst in the world. You know what I'm talking about? Man, the only thing, man, that my old lady need to be waking me up for in the middle of the night is if the children crying, somebody at the door, or you ready to go. And I ain't talking about leaving. Outside of that, because I'm not going to be waking her up talking about fix me a sandwich. This nigga sleep. I'm sleep. How do I wake up in the middle of the night and say, dang, you know what I'd like? A nice turkey and Swiss cheese sandwich. Hey, lady, wake up and go make that for me. Who does that? Clearly, a lot of dudes do that because that's just weird to me. When I hear dudes say, "So you ain't gonna get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and make me a sandwich?" Why are you waking up in the middle of the night asking somebody to? Why are you waking up saying, "Make me some food"? I ain't never got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and be like, "Boy, I'm hungry." I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm mad because I woke up. Because I know that I got to get up in 3-4 more hours. I would prefer to still get my rest.
Yeah, go make your own.
Yeah, I'm not a bodybuilder. Yeah, bodybuilders get up in the middle of the night and to eat. I don't have an IFBB card. I'm not doing that. That's crazy, bro. That is insane. You know what I'm saying? That is insane, bro. To wake somebody up and do that, man.
Get mad what you don't want to do.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what he's about to say. The man controller weird, and then get mad. It's one thing if y'all was up and you're like, hey, you can make me a sandwich. That's a weird request at 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning for freshly pressed juice. But if both of y'all woke, okay, I'm not waking nobody up, bro. And I ain't just saying that to be like we trying to reach a particular type of audience. Like, that has never crossed my mind to wake anybody up out of their sleep, buy some food. If she was asleep and I came home at 1, 2, I'm not gonna wake this nigga up. I'm just gonna make me something to eat. But I told the nigga, because she said that nigga just came home at 1 o'clock in the morning. But me personally, I'm not coming home at 1 o'clock in the morning because I ain't never left. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think what that was when y'all went to that movie talking about 10 o'clock showing, I knew I wasn't going. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, that's gonna have me in the house after win. Oh no, I'm good. No, I'm good on that. I ain't gonna do it. I'm trying to tell you, boy, I ain't never left. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't got to come home at 1 o'clock in the morning because I ain't went nowhere that would require me to come in at that hour. You know what I'm talking about? Like, straight up. I ain't even being funny, man. Like, there's nothing out here that's gonna require. It's gonna be very rare. I don't want to be out the door at that time of night at all. You know what I'm saying? Those days of being outside at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning for me are long gone. Long gone. Not just because I'm in the word either. What is outside at 1 o'clock in the morning other than legs and dope houses? In the jail. Because there's nothing open at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning that a saint is going to be in. That's going to be desirable for him. Why am I out here? I'm not going to nobody's club. I'm not going to nobody's bar. There's nothing in this city that's open at that time of night that is intriguing to me. I don't want no Waffle House. I don't want Waffle House in the middle of the day. I don't want Waffle House in the afternoon. I don't want Waffle House in the evening. If I could live the rest of my life and never go to Waffle House, I'd be a blessed man. I ain't never liked Waffle House like that. What you say, Brother Ernest? You don't like being out past 9 p.m.?
No, I'm just saying, you might be working late.
I mean, that's different. I mean, of course, that if you coming from work, obvious. I don't want no job that's going to require me to come home at 1 o'clock in the morning. Man, I'm almost 45 years old. Man, I don't want to be outside that time of night. That's without a wife. I don't want to come home that time of night. I already want to be in the bed. Getting ready for my next gym session. You know what I'm saying? Those are my minutes of free after hours, straight up and down. Hey, man. That's one thing about it. Niggas gonna know I might be dead if they be like, what, 2 o'clock in the morning, that nigga ain't came home yet? That nigga might be in jail or dead. Because I'm not outside that time of night. Shoot, I'd be mad if I want to be home and bathed before 8:30. Because once I get here, I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm talking about? I mean that. I'm not going nowhere. I don't want to go to the store. I don't want to go nowhere. That's right. My business hours are from 9 to 5. You say you go to the gym because ain't nobody there? I ain't going that late. I don't care who in the gym. You know what I'm saying? There could be 1,000 niggas in there. I'm finna get this work in. Them people not even there to be. See, y'all know if you haven't been in the gym with me, I don't give a damn who in there. It could be 3 niggas in there. It could be 1,000 niggas in there. I'm not paying attention to nobody in there. You be like, you don't be looking at the women in the gym. I'm looking at them weights. Them weights more sexy than me than this hoe. I've seen titties and booty cheeks before. I'm not impressed. You know what I'm talking about? That does not move me. I came in here to train because I want to get in here and get out. You got time for that. Oh, I honestly say you don't like crowded spaces because of your anxiety. That's understandable. You say you pay too much for your house to be out of it. I heard. say this mortgage here, I'm finna be here all the time. I'm just old, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember, man, I used to sell drugs. I was out all day, all night. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about hustling till the sun come up. You know what I'm saying? I don't live my life like that, man. I'm going home. Say it's too cold, 2 o'clock in the morning. It'll be 30 degrees in Flint, Michigan. 38 degrees. Shoot, they talking about we gonna have snow flurries down here. I'm appalled. You talking about, yeah. You going up there where they have them at.
Oh, I ain't been there.
What's a 24-hour grind? Been there since 2012. Yeah, man. I can't do that no more. I think my body can't take that no more. That talking about going on 2, 3, 4 hours sleep? No, I can't do that no more. Them days that over with. I ain't gonna be good for nobody.
That's why everybody overweight now. They don't have to go to sleep.
That's why everybody got a big back. Because you ain't went to sleep. You ain't got a big back because you deadlifting and lat pulling. Boy, Mama Sharona say it is minus 27 wind chill. Well,
Keep that.
No, I'm going to keep something all right. It's called the moving truck. Load him up. We going south. That's too cold. Come on, back to Proverbs 3. My Lord. And she said Arctic blast coming Monday. She in Ohio. Yeah, they said something I seen. They said it's supposed to be 71 tomorrow, but raining. 67 on Sunday, but raining. It ain't as cold as they had it on here, because boy, they had 29 on here the other day. Why, man? Shoot. I ain't got time for that. Dude told me I was a real man the other day because all I had on this hood was a hoodie and these shorts. He said, that's a real man right there. I said, well, I'm going from the car to this store, cuz. Not because it was brick. Next nigga here. He always want to talk. I don't want to hear that. Go away, George. Proverbs 3:19. Say, Yahuwah by wisdom has founded the earth by understanding. He has established Shamaim. This is telling you that he did this by Mashiach, by the way. But we don't have time to go in depth in that as I would like. By his knowledge, the depths are broken up and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let them not depart from your eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. Say, anyone remember that vine from way back when it's cold outside? I'm taking my behind back in the house. Oh, no, I missed that vine era. He says, so shall they be life unto your soul and grace to your neck. Then shall you walk in your way safely and your foot shall not stumble. Keep in mind what he telling man. He said, do not let knowledge, not let wisdom and understanding depart from your eyes. He said to be, when you have wisdom and understanding, he said to be life to your soul and grace to your neck. It causes favor and acceptance of God. He said, when you lie down, you shall not be afraid. That's why Mashiach wasn't scared when he died. And yea, you shall lie down and your sleep shall be sweet. Tell them what sweet mean, man. Remember, there's another proverb talking about, hold on, man. We got to do it, ain't it? You like sweet bread, don't you? So I like my spread sweet.
That's a rhyme. To be pleasant, be sweet, to be pleasing.
To be pleasant, to be sweet, to be pleasing. Ecclesiastes.
To be agreeable, take pleasure in.
9 and 9.
Live joyfully with the wife whom you love all the days of
Ecclesiastes, I said 9, I'm sorry, it's 5 and 9. I'm sorry. My bad. Ecclesiastes 5 and 9, my bad.
Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The king is
hold on.
field.
They say the profit of the earth is for who?
It's for all.
It's for who?
All.
What's the profit of the earth, y'all? Listen, let me read the rest of it. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all, for the king himself is served by the field. What is the profit of the earth? Who can answer that for me, according to this book? What does that mean? Tell them what profit mean one more time on general principle.
Yes, Rome, that's advantage, profit, excellency, gaining.
Excellency.
Or preeminence.
Now, that profit is the same word that we read in Ecclesiastes 1, same word that you see in Romans 3. So what's the profit of all the earth? What's the excellency? What's the advantage? Talk to me. You ain't got to necessarily drop what book, chapter, and verse it is, but I need some book, though. And he said the king is served of the field. Ain't nobody got nothing for me, huh? Now, field is Sade, not Sade. Sade. Sadate. Sean Dollar and Hay, the field, the land, a cultivated field. The ground, the land, the soil. Say the king is served of the soil. Is it the same word used for Reuben's blessing in Genesis 49? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Let me look. Now, of course, served is a bod, to work, to serve, to labor. No, I think that's a different Hebrew word for excellency there. It is. It's yater. That's abundance, excellency, remainder, excess, rest, remnant. That's yad, tau, and raj, superiority. So, Ecclesiastes 5 and 9. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. Again, profit, yithron, advantage, profit, excellency, preeminence, gain. Give me Genesis 2 and 7. This will touch on something we read last week. I don't even know if we've done this Ecclesiastes 5 before. We probably have. Come on with it.
Yahuwah Elohim formed man, the dust of the ground.
He formed man from where?
The dust of the ground.
He formed him from where?
The dust of the ground.
Ground there is Adamah, by the way. Come on.
And breathe into his nostrils the breath
man
of life,
became what?
A living soul.
Now give him 1 Corinthians 15 and 43. To an extent, yes, sir.
It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in esteem. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body.
It's raised a what?
A spiritual body.
I'm sorry, it's sown a what?
A natural body.
A what body?
A natural body.
Listen.
It is raised a spiritual body.
What else?
There's a natural body and there's a spiritual body.
What else?
And so it is written.
What's
the first
written?
man Adam was made a living soul.
The second man.
A quickening ruach.
What else?
Howbeit that not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural,
Mm.
and afterward that which is spiritual.
Mm.
The first man of the earth, earthy.
The second man
is the Lord from Shamahim. As the earthy, such are they also that are earthy, and as is of Shamahim, so are they also that are heavenly.
Now give me John 19 and 41.
Now in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden a new sepulchre, wherein was never man yet laid. There laid they Yahusha, therefore, because of the Yahudim's preparation, for the sepulchre was near at hand.
Now y'all know they put him in the garden the same way the first Adam it was made in the garden. The second Adam was made in the garden. But when you look at it, moreover, the prophet of the earth is for all, and again, it is your throne. Yah, Tau, Rosh, Nun. That which causes profit or excellency. Give me 2 Corinthians 3 and 3. So if you got Yod, you got the right hand, you got Tau. So now you see how the right hand has made a covenant. Matter of fact, you just got the rod. So now you see how the chief or the head has secured the right hand to the covenant of life. This, when you look at the prophet of all the earth stems from this man resurrecting from the dead. Then when you look at, and the king himself is served by the field. Well, man has come cultivated ground. Remember, he say, dust you are, dust you shall return. So because because the prophet of the earth is for all, that means the prophet of his resurrection is for everybody. That's what it say. That's not my personal preference. That's what it say. All in this instance is cold. Kaf and Lamad, all, the whole of, any, each, every, anything, totality, everything. He say the prophet of the earth is for everything. His life-giving gift from the resurrection of the dead by the Ruach HaKadosh is for all. That excellency is for all. These ain't gotta like it. You're just gonna go to hell. You know what I'm talking about? And then everybody who's of the field, the king himself, you serve him. Simple. Yeah, he say even. Yeah, see, now that's what's different there, Brother Herman. That John 10, when he say the sheep that are not of this flock, that's Israel. The only reason why we know this is because of Ezekiel 37. When he say take the stick of Joseph, take the stick of Judah, and make them one, and it'll be one shepherd and one fold. You know what I'm talking about? That's a different conversation. Now, if you want to look at him as forfeit sheep, you got to swing to Genesis 29 for that. You know what I'm talking about? But come on. But that's a common misconception. You know what I'm saying? And I can understand where people coming from with that. You know what I mean? But that's a lot of times because, and that's something that before I heard dudes say that was Gentiles, he had already allowed me to ascertain that, oh, this is Ezekiel 37. So when then you have to take into account Zechariah when he say the house of Yehuda apart, the house of David apart, the house of Nathan apart. I'll save the tents of Judah first, because remember the people said we have no inheritance with David. You know what I'm talking about? So then therefore Yehuda got it first. Not that it's in regards to like Israel's just screwed, how some people want to put it. You know what I'm talking about? And then also with the fact that all of the house of Yasharal were in the land at that time. You know, when they left from Assyria, they never came back in mass. You know what I'm talking about? They never came back. Judah got the opportunity to come back simply because of the covenant made with David. That's why they came back. And once that covenant was fulfilled through the death, burial, and resurrection of Yahushua HaMashiach, he got them up out of that. And here we are. You know what I'm talking about? Come on with it, man.
Manifestly declared to be the epistle of Hamashiach, ministered by us, written not with ink, but the Ruach of the living Elohim, not in tables of stone.
Not in tables of stone.
But in fleshy tables of the heart.
Fleshly tables of the heart.
And such trust have we through Hamashiach to Elohim word, not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think anything as of ourselves, but our sufficiency of Elohim, who also have made us able ministers of the New Testament, not of the letter, but of the Spirit.
Of the Spirit.
For the letter kill, but the Spirit give life.
Give life, baby.
But the administration of death, written and engraven in stones, was esteemed, so that the children of Yasharal could not steadfastly behold the face of Moses, for the esteem of his countenance, which was to be done away, how should not the ministration of the Ruach be rather esteemed? For if the ministration of condemnation be esteemed, much more do the ministration of righteousness exceed in esteem.
See how that go back to Psalms 116 and Ephesians 2? Come on.
For even that which is made esteemed had no esteem in this respect, by reason of the esteem that excelled. For if that which is done away was esteemed, much more that which remained is
Now, of course,
esteemed.
he's referring explicitly to Exodus 34. But go ahead.
Seeing then that we have such hope, we use great plainness of speech, and not as Moses, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Israel could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished. But their minds were blinded, for until this day remain the same veil, untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament.
They can't see now to this
which
day.
is done away in the Mashiach.
Remember, and what did the veil cover? What did the veil cover in the temple? What was the veil at? That's right, it covered the mercy seat. It was in the Kadash of the Kadash. That means the veil is covered over their inward man, and they can't see God to this day. Because you couldn't go into the temple and go to the mercy seat. I know a lot of Israelites want to tell you that you as a random brood could not go in there. Only the sons of Aaron could go in there. And they had to take off their regular clothes and put their priestly garments on just to be able to go in there. If they went in there with the wrong clothes on, they would die. They don't even want to hear that, man. My God, today. Come on back to Ecclesiastes 5, man. Read verse 9 again. We just weren't going to skate by that without y'all understanding what that means. Lord willing, we'll come back to it at another time. Because we came here for something else. Go ahead.
It says, moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The king is served by the field. He that loves silver
shall not be what?
Satisfied with silver.
Nor he that love abundance
with increase. This also vanity.
Man, look here, man. If you love silver, that's why I say the love of money is the root of all evil. Most silver ain't gonna get you satisfied. More abundance ain't gonna get you satisfied either. He said, does Judah save and Simeon represent Savior of the inward man? Which one? What story are you talking about? I don't think Judah saved Simeon did. I don't recall that. Let me look and see. Or is he talking about when they went to Egypt? Yeah, he talking about when they went to Egypt. Give me a second. We'll look at you talking about Genesis 42. Come on with it, sir. When goods increase,
they are increased that eat them.
And what good is there to the owners
thereof?
Saving.
To beholding with their eyes.
That man said, if goods increase and you eat them, what good is it to the owners? Nothing but you look what I got. Look at what I got. You've been listening to T.I. Go ahead.
They say the sleep of a laboring man, sweet.
The sleep of a laboring man is what?
It's sweet.
The sleep of a laboring man is what?
Sweet.
Whether he eat little
or much.
For the abundance of the rich
will not suffer him to sleep.
Because you worry about somebody taking it. But tell him what a laboring man is.
Abad, to work. To
so this is a working man. Tell him what sleep is.
Shana, that's sleep.
Tell him what sweet is. It's the sweetest taboo. You like that song, don't you? You don't know that song too?
That's Bathak. That's sweetness, a pleasant thing.
A pleasant thing. Those people failed you. This man don't know Sade. My God, today. Now, when we come back over here to Proverbs chapter 3, and you sit back and you look at verse 24 again, when you lie down, you shall not be afraid. You shall lie down and your sleep shall be sweet. Go back and read Ecclesiastes 1 and 3. Let me go ahead and get that out of the way.
What profit have a man of all his labor, which he take under the sun?
What profit have a man of all his labor that he do what?
Which he take under the sun.
What is the advantage or excellence that he has? Revelation 14 and 13. Clearly, Yahushua lied down. He was not afraid. And when he lied down, his sleep was sweet. It was pleasant. You know why? Because it's finished. You know why? Because what we were talking about, binding up the testimony, which is to go through straits or distress. Through that distress, he went through the furnace of affliction. Through that furnace of affliction, he was made purified. Through that purification, many souls saved alive. That's why the profit of the earth is for all. Therefore, the king serves himself of the field. That's why everybody serves him. You know what I'm saying? That's why he tell you there's forgiveness with him that he might be feared. You know what I'm talking about? But see, a lot of people want to hear that. Dude told me when I read the Bible, I see wickedness. I said, that's unfortunate. Because he came at me talking about why did David get forgiven for adultery? I'm like, what you mean? What you mean? Like, any people just don't like the Lord. He said they woke that man up. He said, the later talking about a storm. Peace be still. Yeah, that man on the boat sleep. You know, and you know that tied back to Jonah, because Jonah was on the boat sleep. It's all type of ruckus going on. That man in there sleep. Sleep of a laboring man always sweet. You work hard, you sleep good. But then again, in these days and time, these lazy niggas don't do nothing. They sleep good. That boy ain't got up and did nothing all day. We live in a terrible time. You know what I'm saying? Terrible, terrible. This is a young lady I know, she asked, she's like, why is all men's love language physical affection? I'm like, shoot, probably because they like to hunt. I don't know. Then she was like, why are all women's acts of service? Because women want to be served. You know what I'm saying? But there's all types of psychological, explanations that I could come up with for why that would be the case. One gentleman did give her an explanation for that, because for the most part, when boys hit between like ages 7 and 9, people stop being physically affectionate with them. You know what I'm saying? Usually more specifically their mothers. You know what I'm saying? They don't get as many hugs. Nobody's kissing on them. You know what I'm saying? Kind of stops. You know what I'm talking about? So when they get older, they want that type of reassurance from a woman, so they constantly want her to touch him. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is different. I'm not talking about him wanting to touch you, because he could just be horny. You know what I'm saying? That's not a love language. That nigga's just, it's got a lot of testosterone. You know what I'm saying? But when he's like he wants you to touch him, hug him, kiss him, this, that, and the third, is because he might have been without physical affection for a very, very long time. Because yeah, man, a lot of boys once they reach a certain age, kind of stops. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it happens that way. But yeah, but if he want to touch you, he ready to go right now. Show him the green light. I know you know that. Yeah, I know it, because you and Doris be riding around listening to that funny looking man. That's your plan, or that's her plan? It's all right. You like a little John Legend. I damn so don't.
Definitely don't listen to him.
Boop be listening to John Legend. She said, don't disrespect me like that. I'm a gangster.
She used to play that song a lot.
They did, though. Everywhere you went. I'm ready. I said, I'm ready to go to stop hearing it. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Let me read verse 24 again. Proverbs chapter 3.
Do you want that?
Oh, Revelation 14 and 13. I'm sorry.
It said, and I heard a voice from Shamaim saying unto me, Write, Baruch the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Ruach, that they may rest from their labors.
That they may rest from their what?
Their labors.
And he said the sleep of a laboring man is what?
Sleep.
And their works do what?
Follow them.
When you lie down, don't be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Because the dead in the Mashiach will do what? Rise first. Oh my God, today. Proverbs 3 and 25. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it comes. For Yahuwah shall be your confidence, and shall keep your foot from being taken. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of your hand to do it. Read in Romans 13 and 7, Galatians 6 and 10. This might help with a question I was asked a couple weeks ago. What Romans 13 and 7?
Render therefore to all their dues, tribute to whom tribute is due, custom to whom custom, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor.
Now let's look at it and tell them what due and custom is there. I'll tell you what due is over here.
That's ophale, that which is owed, a debt, due specifically of, or metaphorically, of conjugal duties.
Now we ain't talking about conjugal duties on that one.
And then tribute is foros, a tribute The annual tax levied upon houses, lands, and persons.
So he said, when it's time for you to pay your taxes, pay your taxes. When it's time to pay what you owe, pay what you owe. Now, when he tell you this here, withhold not good from them to whom it is due. In Hebrew, due here is Baal. I guess you know what that means. Your owner, your husband, your Lord, your owner, your husband, rulers, lords. So it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? He said, don't withhold not that from good to whom? To your rulers. Now you can take that and do what you want to with it. Look at Michael. That's my song.
Then custom was
I already knew that.
It's telos, an end or satol, a custom, indirect tax on goods.
He said, when it's in your power to do it. Yeah, I knew Doris looked like she liked John Legend. I like the piano.
Now she's about to turn it on.
Sylvia said, now she's finna cut this damn song on me. Say, curse you to hell, damn it. Curse you, I say.
She's about to wake up tomorrow, she'll make a pancakes playing that song.
That's when you tell it's the Lord's day. Cut that damn heathen music off. What are we, give me Galatians 6 and 7. He said you got that demon stuck in my head now.
That's how they made it. It's a country song, man.
Yeah, maybe, you know, I don't listen to much music. So mainly because shoot, I gotta have some type of Bluetooth. I don't walk around with no headphones.
I told niggas you be in the gym with the phone to his ear, then they can just be walking.
I can't even do that. I'm not doing that. That's too much.
But it's all like if you on Clubhouse or something, but for the most part, you just
man,
machine to machine.
Shoot, even with Clubhouse be on my phone, be in my pocket. I don't even be hearing them niggas talk. You know what I'm talking about? That's just in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It said, "Be not deceived. Elohim is not mocked. For whatsoever a man sow, that shall he also reap."
No, I ain't no cap, man, because shoot, boy, ain't no Bluetooth. Man, if I ain't got no Bluetooth, man, I ain't finna be listening to Sippy. No, he done roll with them, man. Shoot. Even when we had Bluetooth in there, I ain't had no music playing like that. That nigga Jimmy.
On occasion he played, but
Jimmy be in there like, man, shoot, Jimmy like to listen to the radio, man. I don't be want to hear that jump, man. Like this nigga listen to these YouTube videos or these niggas talking on Clubhouse. That nigga like this here. He want because anytime Jimmy get in the U-Haul, boy, he got the radio on live. That nigga get mad. I cut that junk off. I don't want to hear that junk. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, I'm not listening to the radio, bro. I refuse. I just absolutely and utterly refuse. Now, you'll think that, but on a day-to-day basis, I don't listen to that much. Because, yeah, I just don't. And I don't have no headphones, so I definitely don't listen to no music in the gym at all. You know what I'm talking about? Very rarely. Over the last, what this is, 2025? Over the last 13 years going to Bayless, I would want to say 98% of it has been accomplished with listening to no music whatsoever.
The gym music.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't barely listening to that. Well, I'm in there for that work. You know what I'm talking about? I don't need no music to get amped, excited, or nothing. I was excited before I got here. I've been waiting on this all day. Shoot. I'm on my last phase of this ultimate push, pull, and leg. These the last 3 weeks. I already got the next program already ready. It's set and ready to go. Come on, man.
So for he that sow to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that sow to the Ruach shall of the Ruach reap life everlasting. Let us not be weary and well doing.
Let's not be weary and well doing. What verse that is?
That's verse 9.
Listen, contend what we came here for.
For in due season we shall reap if we faint not. As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all, especially unto them who are of the household of faith.
So he said when it's when it's in your power for you to do good, he say do good to all, but especially those who are in the household of the faith. But then when he say withhold not good from them to whom it is due. And they tell you do is ball, which is owner, lord, or husband. This is really going to tie into what's in 1 Timothy chapter 5, to be 100% honest with you. He said, I talk on the speaker and I walk away from the phone. That boy, that wild. 1 Timothy 5 and what that is? 7? That ain't 7, is it? It's 17. 1 Timothy 5 and 17.
Say, let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
The scripture saith, you shall not muzzle the ox and tread out the corn, and labor worthy of his reward.
And that's what that's tying to. He said when it said that, and I was just telling somebody, I was talking to Ariel about this last night, because she was talking about how some of these camps, how they make these people tithe. Because she told me one particular camp, they got to pay a tithe, and then they got to pay a tithe to the dude over the congregation because they say he a Levite, so they got to pay a double tithe. I was like, that's amazing. You know what I'm talking about? But what I was telling them is that scripturally, this stuff is laid out how it's supposed to be. So when you see Paul talking about this in 1 Timothy 5:17 to Timothy, who's a minister, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm talking about straight pimping. And then you see Solomon saying, don't withhold that which is good from your Lord, from your husband, from your rulers, from your chiefs, from your captains. You can see where Paul is getting this from. Now, Paul's referencing the line in Exodus about not muzzling the ox, and what the Lord said about the laborer is worthy of his hire. Because she was just telling, she said, I don't have a problem with that. She said, I just believe it's fruit and grains. But then she mentioned, the Deuteronomy 14. And of course, we discussed, the Leviticus 27. But what I told her is that people take advantage of this. Now, you have some people, they just want to give a preacher some money because that's just what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? They just want to get this man all their money because they think that's going to buy their way into heaven. You're going to hell. You know what I'm talking about? Because your heart's wrong. It's not the fact that you're giving the bread. Your heart's not right. You can't buy your way into this man good graces. And this nigga's a buster for taking it. You know what I'm talking about? But most people will. You know what I'm saying? Because she was asking, she was like, isn't it for the strangers, the widow? I'm like, no, the tithes is for the Levites and the fatherless, the widow, the stranger. You know what I'm talking about? Why? Because the Levites didn't have an inheritance like everybody else. What does that mean? They didn't have land to be husbandmen over. They didn't have the same amount of cattle. They didn't have the opportunity to generate wealth as the rest of Israel had, because their whole job was to serve Yahuwah. I think a lot of people don't realize that. You read it, but when you look in the text, if these, because like Hezekiah, I think it was Hezekiah or Jehoshaphat, when he said, and the Levites wait upon their business, like these men's whole life was dedicated to that service in that temple. Their entire life. When he says that I'm going to take the Levites for my inheritance, their whole life was dedicated to this man. You know what I'm saying? So he's telling the people, if these men are dedicating their life to me, to serve me so that they can appropriately serve you, then this is what you're going to do. Because these men work for me. They don't get to do what you get to do. You know what I'm saying? We don't effectively see that. What we effectively see is a nigga saying he need a Gulfstream private jet. You know what I'm talking about? This nigga's riding around in the Bentley. These guys were not getting enough tithes to be balling like that. Just let that be known. Because there was multiple. It's not just one Levite. You understand what I'm telling you? All them tithes went to all them men. You know what I'm saying? And then they had to pay the tithe of that. And then, of course, whatever sacrifices was brought, they got to eat that. So, that cut the cost down. You know what I'm talking about? That's right. They joined to him. It's literally like they joined to this man. See, what you got now is you got one dude, and he got all these people giving him hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, this is not the norm. You'll know that. In any industry, period. And it's sad that we would have to call this man word in assemblies and industry. But in reality, that's what they've done to it. They're never going to be everybody making that kind of money. It's going to be the elite ones at the top, some in the middle, everybody else at the bottom. The majority of people going to be the ones at the bottom because most churches ain't getting no money like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't own no real estate like that. He said, what did he put on there? Say the Catholic Church really made that popular. Interesting. And that's just real talk. You know what I'm saying? The men, because how we know they weren't balling like that? Because the text said they were greedy for filthy lucre. They were taking bribes. You know what I'm saying? They were perverting judgment for pay. They were judging for reward. So they were trying to find other ways to get bread. They weren't getting money like how these dudes getting money. See, these dudes in this present generation, they just outright lying. You know what I'm saying? They just coming out here and we lying. And hey, it just is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? These men was like, okay, we got this, but this ain't enough. So hey, if you want me to do judgment for you, shoot me a couple shekels and I got you. You know what I'm saying? And you can read that in Micah. That's what they were doing. He said, I always looked at when the Levites became corrupt, it had to do with their lack of desire to have more. I believe that definitely played a role in it. I mean, you have to remember one thing. These are human beings. And I think a lot of times we don't like to deal with that and look at that. But those are flesh and blood people you're talking about. And they're subject to the same emotions and desires as any of us. And they were probably like, man, I'm tired of being poor. I want more. And they were willing to do what they felt like was necessary to get more. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But what I was telling her is people's problem is, if you want to send some word to somebody, number one, you should actively be a part. That's selling merchandise in the temple, Brother Herman. I don't know if you heard when we talked about it before. That goes back to Deuteronomy 14 when he said, if you coming from a far away and you can take what you was going to tithe and turn it into money and buy whatever your soul lusteth after. So those men knew, because it was unleavened bread at the time, they knew that these people were coming up always, because this is why I would tell them, y'all already know this. You're only supposed to tithe 3 times a year. There's no tithing every week. There's no tithing every month. You're only supposed to tithe 3 times a year. You're only supposed to tithe when you would have the abundance of your increase, whatever that increase was. All males have to appear, and he said no man could come up empty. You can't pop up to Passover, unleavened bread, Pentecost, you know what I'm saying, or Feast of Weeks and Tabernacles, and you ain't got nothing. That man not going for that. That's when you supposed to tithe. So this is how you know that's why I could go into that what Brother Ernest talking about, that them boys probably, because it's only 3 times a year that they getting broke off, other than the regular sacrifices that are being done in order for them to eat. But they're only getting broke off 3 times a year in this capacity. You know what I'm saying? See, we looking at it from a modern time where people sit in a plate round. Like, we've been going for 13 years. This year, 13, we don't pass no plate round. I'm not passing no plate round. I'm not asking you to give nothing. If we done went over that, you know what you're supposed to do. That's on you. You know what I'm talking about? That's on you. You already know what's required of you. Why am I going to be sitting here telling you, hey man, where your offerings at? And this, that, and the third. I'm not asking you for nothing. You know why? Because what Yahuwah said, if I was hungry, he said, I ain't never required no bulls or such and such at your courts. If I was hungry, I wouldn't tell you. You're not supposed to be doing that. You don't see nowhere in this book where they was like, hey, they let it be known, hey, we taking up free will offering things of this nature. So yeah, man, nah, man, hell no. Nah. He says, so that where feeding the pastor come from my old church, a better understanding. Yeah, that ain't supposed to happen. Now, they took care. You supposed to look out for the man. That's what Paul said, if I sown unto you spiritual things, he said, is it a small thing that I reap carnal things? But when you look at Deuteronomy 14, those people who were selling in the temple, they knew that these Israelites were coming up for the feast and that they would want to buy certain things because, let's get it for him. Deuteronomy 14. Because Brother Marcus said he'd like to know. So, and some people might have not heard this before. We got to get straight to it. Oh, I'm in Leviticus 14. That's why I ain't seeing what I'm looking for. It would help to be in the right chapter, and I wouldn't, sir. 14 to 21. So come on with it. Deuteronomy 14 to 21.
So you shall not eat anything that die of itself. You shall give it unto the stranger that is in your gates, that he may eat it. Or you may sell it unto an alien. For you, a Kadash people unto Yahuwah your Elohim, you shall not see the kid in his mother's milk. You shall truly tithe all the increase of your seed,
that the field bring forth
year by year.
You shall eat before Yahuwah your Elohim,
in the place which he shall choose to place his name there.
The tithe of your corn,
of your wine,
of your oil,
and the firstlings of your herds,
and of your flocks,
that you may learn to fear Yahuwah your Elohim always.
They had to do the same thing that Abel did. They got to tithe, give 1/10 of the first of everything they got. because that's the best. You know what I'm talking about? And if the way be
too long for you,
so that you're not able to carry it,
or if the place be too far from you,
which Yahuwah your Elohim shall
to
choose,
set his name there,
when Yahuwah your Elohim
have baruch you,
you shall turn it into what?
Money,
and bind up the money
in your hand,
and you shall go unto the place
which Yahuwah your Elohim shall choose,
and you shall bestow that money
for whatsoever your soul lust after,
for whatsoever your what?
Soul lust after,
For oxen,
or for sheep,
for wine,
or for strong
or
drink,
for whatsoever
your soul desires,
and you shall eat there
before Yahuwah your Elohim,
and you shall rejoice,
you and your household,
and the Levite
that is within your gates,
you shall not
forsake him,
for he have no
part nor inheritance with you.
At the end of 3 years,
You shall bring forth all the tithe of your increase
the same year,
and shall lay up within your gates,
and the Levite,
because you have no part nor inheritance with you,
and the stranger,
and the fatherless,
and the widow,
which within your gates
shall come,
and shall eat and be satisfied,
and that Yahuwah your
may
Elohim
baruch you in all the work of your hand which you do.
So you see this? So when you come over here to what that was, John 2, when you come over here and you see this right here, that's why that was going down like that. John 2 and 13.
And the Yahudim's Passover was at hand.
Pause. What was at hand?
Passover.
So this is how you know this is why these people are there, because this is the only time you're supposed to be tied. Now, he mentioned the tithe of 3 years. That's something different. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not, and then that's just period, because then you know you got your Shabbat of rest and things of that nature. But we just keeping it simple. Because obviously, if you got the tithe of the 3 years, you tithe them 4 times in a year. But this is not a regular occurrence. No one is supposed to be asking you for a tithe every week. It is not necessarily a tithe of all your income for the entire year. It is the tithe of your increase. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Whatsoever that may be.
Whatsoever that may be, when unleavened bread, Pentecost, and tabernacles come up. Why? Because these feasts are agricultural feasts. Unleavened bread is dealing with Abib and the first, you know what I'm saying, the barley ears and corn and things of that nature. Obviously, it's Feast of Weeks. These are the first fruits coming out of your summer harvest. And tabernacles is at the end of the year, the harvest that you're reaping at the end of the year. This is why they tithe 3 times a year. You know what I'm saying? Most people not going to tell you that. Because they want you to get, if you make $1 million, they want you to give them 10% of that million. That's not necessarily how that's supposed to go. It is literally the increase at those 3 times a year. You know that increase, that's between you and the Lord. Churches that's asking you for W-2s and tax returns and all that, that's pure D wickedness, man. You know what I'm talking about? Truth be told, ain't no preacher supposed to be asking you for no money. You know what I'm talking about? Reason being, because you should have already been instructed out of the word what is required of you. Now, whether you do that or not is between you and God. You know what I'm talking about? You can't tell nobody how much to give. You can't tell nobody when to give it, because a man can only give according to as he is able, because it's equitable. You know what I'm talking about? He's not requiring. There's very few offerings in the book where everybody got to get the same thing. You know what I'm talking about? He's not requiring everybody to get the same thing, because everybody don't have the same thing. So he's not going to put a burden on somebody who can't do it. You know what I'm talking about? He's not going to say everybody got to give 1,000 and you only got 200. You can't give 1,000. See, that's man stuff. And then they try to twist certain verses to go along with that. That's not how he operates. He never puts a set number on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's very few. It's it's a scant few things that are uniform for everybody. You know what I'm talking about? You don't operate that way. Because you know why? Because everybody ain't got no money. Remember what the law say? The poor will always be with you. The poor will always be in the land. That's why the Lord told him the poor will always be with you, because that's what the law say. You know what I'm talking about? I keep seeing this. I keep seeing this lady talking about, as Christians, we supposed to live in abundance. That man never told you that. He never told you that. People say a lot of things that this man ain't never said when it comes to money. That's your greed. That man never told you that. Niggas would rather have riches on earth than riches in heaven. Most people rather enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season than to suffer affliction with the children of God, to be 100% honest with you. You're supposed to be biding your time here. Did you see? He said a good man leave an inheritance to his children's children. Yeah, you do. But then if you take that in the reality of the word, that's leaving the land to your children. Because see, your forefathers didn't have to buy acres of land like we do. They were already given a portion of land and they would leave it to their offspring. That's why he a good man, because he wouldn't be sinning. Therefore, God wouldn't have to take his inheritance from him. He can give it to his kids. They biding heavy burdens, grievous to be borne, my God, today. And laying them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at all this stuff. You have to pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? But now, as we've discussed before, and I want to move on because I really don't want to spend an inordinate amount of time about this. I just had to deal with it because that's what that word meant. You know what I'm saying? So we can't skip over that. You look at the text, and people looked out for the people who was moving work. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did. That's just independent. But that wasn't something that these people who were moving work pushed on these people to do. Samuel didn't push that on Saul. You know what I'm talking about? When King Darius made the decree during the time of Ezra and the build of the temple for them people to give this, that, there, and the third, for them to do that work, man, that's just what that was. If they did it, they did it. If they didn't, they didn't. See, most of these men will come into these spaces and manipulate you and say things to you about that because they just want your money. When you read what Moses say, well, give me some money. When you read what Samuel did that at. None of these people did that. Nobody. You don't read the Lord saying, minister to me of your substance. Them people didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Them women ministered to the Lord of their substance because that's what they wanted to do. He didn't demand that from them. He didn't force that on them. You know what I'm saying? You have to, again, shalom, Mama Steph. Listen, I be telling y'all this, man. Pay attention to the nuance. Pay attention to the interactions. Pay attention to how you see these people behave. And then you'll know that a lot of the things that these people be saying, these people didn't do this. You know what I'm saying? They did not do any of these things at all, ever, at any time. You people running game. That's why he said, read verse 27, Proverbs 3, y'all. Listen what it say. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due. When it is what, Civic? In the power of your hand. Do you see how he put that in there? He said, don't withhold that which is from your owner, from your Lord, from your ruler, from your chief, from your captain, when you have the ability to do it. Pay attention to how the man talk. Tell him what power means right there, man. We ain't talking about a TV show.
Power is El. God like one, a mighty mighty men of rank. Malachim, that's God, false gods. God, the one true Elohim.
So when he said, let's look at total all that, because now you got power, you got Elohim there. That's interesting, ain't it? Now we got to look at the whole thing. Ain't that something? When you look at withhold, that's manah. Meme, noon, and ayin. To withhold, to hold back, to restrain, to deny. He said, don't deny that which is told or that which is pleasant or agreeable from your ball, your owner, your ruler. Now, we could take that a step further. Now, of course, it could be owner. It's owner, husband, lord, owner, husband, citizens, inhabitants, rulers, lord. A noun relationship used to characterize master of dreams, lord used as foreign gods. It is also used as a archer, a babbler, a bird, a captain, chief man, so on and so forth. Also a married man. And we can go on for days. That word is used quite a bit. Now, you can look at don't withhold good from God. Now, when he tell you, when it's in your power, now when it is, of course, is hayah, which y'all know to become, to come to pass, to exist, to become like, to exist in existence, to occur, to be finished, to be gone. So when you have to be able to bring that to pass, he say, go ahead when it is in the power, or when it's in the power, or, and that's the last definition, which is the one that you would want to use, which is strength or power. The definition here all the way is God like one, mighty man, men of rank, mighty heroes, Malachim, God, false God, God, the one true God, Yahuwah, mighty things in nature, strength and power. So in this one here, he said, when it's in your power to do that, then do it. You know what I'm talking about? He said, he said, do not restrain and withhold from your chief men good when you have the power to do it. You see how simple that is, how he laying it out? That's not this man telling you to give your last. You know what I'm talking about? It's not this man telling you to sow a seed and forsake your responsibilities. Who don't operate like that? And any man who serve him who would tell you that is a wicked bastard. He wicked as hell. Because if you came to this man and say, I want to give you these $500, these my last $500, if he a man of God, he gonna tell you, man, put them $500 back in your pocket. But now some people drop that in there and he not gonna know it. You know what I'm talking about? But if you tell that man that and he take it, you should never go back. You know what I'm saying? You should never go back. Shalom, brother Mom. You should never go back. Because somebody who served God for real, they're gonna tell you, man, put that money back in your pocket, man. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? Now, of course, you have that situation when they were doing the penury in the treasury, and the older lady gave in the last that she had, and the Lord said she gave more than all of you all because you gave your increase. She did. Now, of course, her doing that, what does that tell you? Her trusting God for him to provide it is, or what she needs, was greater to her than doing that. Most people don't have that type of faith, so that's a different conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because that ain't about you sowing a seed to get some money back on the back end like these wicked people be telling you. You know what I mean? It's a different conversation. But come on, let's finish this up. Verse 28, Proverbs 3. Say not unto your neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I will give when you have it by you. So guess what he's telling you? If somebody said, hey, can I get this right here? And you got it right then, he said, don't tell him to come back tomorrow. And you got it right then. Go ahead and shoot that to him. Devise not evil against your neighbor, seeing he dwells securely by you. Why you around here devising wicked going, right? You hate your neighbor without a cause. That's going back to conversation we had a long time ago this evening. Strive not with a man without cause, if he have done you no harm. Why you can be in contention if somebody ain't did none of you? You know what I'm talking about? Envy not your oppressor. Choose none of his ways. You know, listen, you know, Bruce be telling you that mean don't get blonde hair. But oppressor here is Kamaz. Ish Kamaz, excuse me. And that is a man. So when he's telling you choose your oppressor, he's talking about a man, a certain type of man. Kamaz, a violent man. A man who is cruel and a man who operates unjustly and does violence, unrighteous and violence. He said, do not envy an individual who is like that and don't follow after his way of life. Just that simple. You know why? Because you look at these people who do violent deeds of injustice and you looking at what they got and you envious of what they got. But remember, if you're dealing with envy in that capacity, you'll end up becoming a violent individual just like them. He said, for the froward is an abomination to Yahuwah. I don't know if you know what froward is, but it ain't nothing nice. Froward here is lose. That's someone who is devious and perverse and crooked. You old devious, perverse nigga. Oh, pervert. You're a pervert? Your people used to walk in the room and call you a pervert? Like, why you calling me? I ain't did nothing, mama. I ain't did nothing. He said, anybody who is devious and perverse is an abomination, but his secret is with the righteous. What is his secret? It's the testimony of the Son of God. What are the righteous? Those who have received the knowledge of his righteous servant. See how all those go together? The curse of Yahuwah is in the house of the wicked, but he baruch the habitation of the just. Surely he scorned the scorners, but he give grace unto the lowly. And the wise shall inherit esteem, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. Now, we talked about a lot of things. We didn't even got to the contradictions. That's the same thing we did last Wednesday. So who cares? You know what I'm talking about? Because it's all about Yahuwah being esteemed. Read Ecclesiastes 1:3 one more time.
What profit have a man of all his labor, which he take under the sun?
Now we've established that the profit is you'll resurrect from the dead and live forever. That's your excellence. That's your advantage. Go ahead.
One generation pass away and another generation come.
But the what?
The earth abide forever.
See, now this is where they say the contradiction is. And I'll read you the verse in a second where they say the contradiction is. Now, he tell you that the Eretz abides for olam. Now, abide is a mod. It takes its stand. It endures. Go to 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. Make sure that's it. Yes, make it 3 and 5. 2 Peter 3 and 5.
Say, for this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Elohim, Shamahims were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished. But Shamahim and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men.
Mm-hmm.
But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing.
What's that?
That one day with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day.
Go ahead.
The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
Mm-hmm.
But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
A thief in the night, baby.
In which Shamahim shall pass away with a great noise,
Mm.
and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Fervent heat.
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
See, they say that's a contradiction because he said the earth would abide forever and then the earth would be burned up. This is what these people say. See, that's a contradiction. Go to Isaiah 51 and 4. But we know better than that.
Hearken unto me, my people. Give ear unto me, O my nation, for a law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to rest for a light of the people. My righteousness near, my salvation is gone forward.
It's gone forward.
My arm shall judge the people. The isles shall
My
wait
arm
upon
gonna do
them.
what?
Judge the people.
His arm gonna judge Yasharal.
And on my arm shall they trust.
The Gentiles gonna trust on that same arm.
Lift up your eyes to Shamahim, and look upon the earth beneath.
Lift up your eyes to where?
To Shamahim.
And the earth what?
Beneath.
What's gonna happen?
For Shamahim shall vanish away like smoke.
And the earth
shall wax old like a garment.
What's gonna happen?
And they that dwell therein shall die in like men.
Now see, this is the same. This is what Peter is quoting.
But my salvation shall be forever. My righteousness
My
shall not be
salvation will
abolished.
be for what?
Forever.
Now go back to 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. Read some more. Shut the door, book till she be quiet.
Say, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and the which Shamahim shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Listen.
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
Burn, baby.
Then all these things shall be dissolved. What manner ought you to be in all Kadash conversation and godliness?
Listen what he finna say.
Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Elohim, wherein Shamahim being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
But we,
according to his promise,
look for
new Shamahim and a new earth.
A new what?
A new earth.
This is why these people stupid.
Wherein dwell righteousness.
This is why these people stupid. Come on. Now, how he said the earth, get him Isaiah 45. 45 and 10, I suppose. I think the verse about 15, but it's okay.
Woe unto him that say unto his father, what beget you? Or to the woman, what have you brought forth?
What have you brought forth?
Thus saith Yahuwah, the Kadash one of Yasharal, and his maker. Ask me of things to come concerning my sons, and concerning the work of my hands. Command you me.
Mm-hmm.
I have made the earth and created man upon it.
I made it.
I, my hands, have stretched out Shamahim, and all their hosts have I commanded.
Commanded.
I have raised them up in righteousness, and I will direct all his ways.
Come on.
He shall build my city. He shall let go my captives, not for price nor reward.
He said, let go my captives for what?
Not for price nor reward.
He said, you ain't been redeemed but corruptible things of silver and gold from the vain conduct of your father. He said, he set free as who?
Captives.
He said, the son shall make you free. You shall be free indeed. And they got set free by what?
Not for price.
Not for price.
Nor reward.
He paid with his life to do it. Why you think he ain't take what Satan was offering him? That's what a lot of people don't realize, man. You gonna take the short deal and get screwed in the end. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. It's the same thing we were talking about earlier. When dudes be like, a woman will do this here if another man got more money than you, this, that, and the third. Nah, they not. Not if she rock with you. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of niggas will sell their God out for them same 30 pieces of silver. For them same shekels. You know what I'm talking about? And you have to look at that, man. That man told you, man, the cares and affairs of this life and the deceitfulness of riches will choke off the word, man. You won't bring forth no fruit to perfection. You worry about everything than what you're supposed to be worried about. Man, that money gonna pass away. That house gonna pass away. Your funky behind gonna pass away. Your accolades gonna pass away. Man, the Lord is not gonna come down here talking about how much money you made, what you accomplished. That man don't give a damn about none of that. He ain't gonna be talking about Kobe Bryant and his championships. He's not gonna be talking about Tom Brady and his championships. He's not going to be talking about Lamar Jackson and his MVPs. He's not going to be talking about Denzel or any actor about how many Oscars or Golden Globes or Tony Awards that they won. Because none of those things pertain to him. He do not care. He do not care. Them things mean nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm talking about? Does it mean something in the eyesight of men? Sure it does. Does it mean something in the eyesight of the Almighty Elohim, Yahuwah of hosts is his name? No, it doesn't. And this is why he told you, don't sow your seed among the thorns. You know what I'm talking about? Because while you worry about everything else, you're not going to be made perfect. Because that seed is not going to be able to blossom and bloom and bring forth that fruit. Again, you don't practice the fruits of the Spirit. That's not something you practice. You know what I'm talking about? That's something you are. Let me say this again. You cannot practice the fruits of the Spirit. The fruits of the Spirit are the byproduct of the seed, which is the word. The fruits of the Spirit are the evidence that the word is in you. And you let that seed fall in the good ground and it died and it brought forth much fruit. That means you let that word come in and you put that fleshly man to death. You put that carnal mind to death to allow that seed to bring forth fruit with patience. If you don't do that, because if you're practicing it, that's not you. That means you're actually not patient. You're actually not faithful. You're actually not joyous. You're actually not good. You're actually not meek. You actually don't have self-control. Because how, if this man desired truth in the inward parts, and you say you got this man's seed or his word in your inward parts, how is that not you? That would just be you. Yahuwah does not have to practice being gracious. He doesn't have to practice being long-suffering. He doesn't have to practice that. That's who he is. So when you have his spirit, you are who he is. See, if long-suffering is what? Slow to anger, right? Mm-hmm. If you get angry fast, you don't have the fruits of the spirit. Because he said anger rests in the bosom of fools and wrath work not the righteousness of God. How is that possible? These two things can't exist in the same place at the same time. Or somebody lying. It certainly ain't the word. That's not what I feel. This is what the book say. Ecclesiastes say anger rests in the bosom of fools. That's what the book say. That's not what I say. James wrote, the wrath of man don't work the righteousness of God. Yahuwah said he is long-suffering. In Psalms, he say he's slow to wrath. You know what I'm talking about? So when Galatians say that this is one of the fruits, or the pareh in Hebrew, the offspring, the byproduct of the seed, that means that's who he is. He's not practicing that. It's in him, not on him. You know what I'm saying? Period. And we have to look at, because that's what a lot of us get told, right? You got to practice the fruits of the Spirit. Now, you ain't got to practice nothing. Lay that word up in your heart and believe it. Hold fast to it. Let your inward man die so that seed can actually bring forth fruit from the inside out. The man told you in 2 Kings 19, verse 29, man, you got to take root downward to bring fruit upward. Ain't that what he said? That means you got to be willing to go in the grave. That's what it do to my. He's talking about you die with him in baptism, but you ain't really. I said, man, you stupid, bro. Because what he was talking about, and I got to give you the abridged version. What we were talking about was he was talking about the drinking of the cup. Now, the original conversation was communion something that the apostles just were to do, or did everybody do it? But of course, you can see from 1 Corinthians 11, this was something that they continued to do. Now, when you do it, you do it in remembrance of him. Do you have to do it just on Passover? No. He didn't say you had to do it then. He said every time you do this in remembrance of me. Now, we know most churches do it on what? First Sunday. And they do this every month. Are they wrong for doing that? No. But this is the thing. He told you if you do it unworthily, you do what? Bring damnation to yourself. Now, Lord Marshman told the man straight like this. He said the difference between you and what he's saying is a person who's for real, when that cup come past, when that bread come past, and they know they ain't been on point, they're not going to take it. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to take it. A nigga who pump faking, hesitating, all that other stuff, he going to keep on here because he say, I done took communion, I had a threesome the night before. That's reflective of you, not the word, cuz. Because if you know you not worthy, and every Passover we read that passage because you're supposed to consider that. You ain't just supposed to take it because everybody doing it. He talk about how you guilty of his body and death. Cuz, jackass. If you do that unworthily, is if you were standing out there saying crucify him. It was as if you were saying, hey man, here go these 30 pieces of silver, bro. Bring him round here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wait. That ain't no light matter. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. We be looking at this stuff like it's light and you just doing it just to do it. Boy, if you wicked as hell and you drinking from that cup and eating that bread, boy, you going to hell, cuz. Because you knew you was wicked as hell before you did it. So why would you do it? But like Lord Marshman said, if you for real, you're going to be like, nah, I'll get on the next one. If you for real. Most niggas not for real. You know what I'm saying? See, we ain't talking about you beating yourself up in your brain about some stuff, man. I'm talking about, well, you wicked as hell. You know what I'm saying? When I say wicked, I'm talking about Rob, man. I'm talking about you like to perform a little pasha. You like to be rebellious, man. You know what I'm talking about? We talking about a little Avon, man. You a little perverse, you dig? You like to, that's what you own. We just read Froward, boy, you're devious. That's what you own. Your heart always devising wicked imaginations. You always own some wicked type of time. Well, you ain't supposed to do that, cuz. But you know what? Most of us, when I say most of them, I'm talking about the majority of us who in the work. Don't nobody say that to us, not do that. Don't nobody do that. Most of these people that don't even want to drink from the same cup. You ain't supposed to be doing that with no multiple cups. I don't want to pass no germ. What the hell you mean? It's for a card. It's for oneness. We all one. We interconnected. Ain't supposed to be no 40 different cups in here, man. That means there's 40 individuals in here. That means it's a schism. My God, today. Is we together or is we separated? You know what I'm talking about? Nobody want to hear that. Because that's what my man was like. Did they all drink from the same? Or was it, man, the man said he took the cup and passed it around. Remember, man, in Job, man, he said, man, it seals tight. They close together. No air get through. See, that's the problem. Satan get through because you niggas too fragmented. See, and the fragmentation don't come because separation because of land mass. You separated because through mind and spirit. You know what I'm saying? Too many niggas want to fight. They want to argue. They want to this, that, that, and the third. Man, you can't never stick close to nobody, man. Niggas don't love each other for real. Most niggas don't love a nigga if he ain't doing nothing for them. You know what I'm saying? Niggas always love you when you're doing something for them. Why a nigga got to do something for you to love them? That's what I told the young lady. She talking about, yeah, I say, yeah, man, I ain't got no love language. My love language, God language, baby. Joanne say love is an action word. It's a verb. You know what I'm saying? Say worrying about sipping from the same cup but putting their mouth on a nigga's vagina. Nigga around here eating booty but don't want to drink from the same cup. Lord have mercy. We ain't even finished Hebrews 13 talking about eating booty. Come on, Hebrews 13.
Let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained Malachim unawares.
Listen.
Remember them that are in bonds, as bound with them.
I know it. I couldn't resist the joke. I'm sorry.
And them which suffer adversity, as being yourselves also in the body.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage honorable in all.
See, pause. Marriage is what?
Honorable in all.
That means regardless if you a saint or a sinner, the living Elohim, marriage is honorable to him. Not homosexual marriage. Don't be no stupid idiot. Because the man already told you that that's an abomination, so that's not honorable to him. Go ahead. I ain't say that for none of y'all. It's always somebody who be around here skeeking and, peeking and geeking or run across something. See, he said marriage was honorable and all. It's all right, me and Bill in here touching each other. No, it's not all right. Stop.
That's all they're going to read anyways.
I'm good. He said it's honorable. But adulterers.
In the bed undefiled.
Bed undefiled. You know what bed undefiled means? Listen what he's finna say.
But whoremongers and adulterers, Elohim will judge.
Then we just read in 1 Thessalonians 4 that he say, man, that this is the will of God that you abstain from fornication, that you should know how to possess your vessel in sanctification and in honor. So when you looking at the bed is undefiled, meaning, if you are having coitus, sexual intercourse, and you are married, that bed is clean. If you are having sexual intercourse and that is not your wife, meaning that's somebody else's wife and you commit adultery, or you are fornicating, or you're having sex with a woman on her cycle, or you're having sex with a man, or you're having sex with your mama, or you're having sex with your auntie, or you're having sex with a woman and her sister, that bed is defiled. That's what that means. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to come up with all the extra stuff that means, man, a married bed undefiled. I can hit my wife in the booty. You know what I'm saying? No, because that's not what he's talking about. That's a different conversation. Because now I want to understand, why do you want anal satisfaction as a saint? Because there's some stuff, man, when you come in, when you was outside the house, that's all well and good. But when you come inside this man's house, why you want that, blood? What you got going on? Some stuff you got to leave at the door. You can't come in here with that, man. Okay, man, you had all your years to be that 69 God. Now it's time to stop. Don't bring that in here, man. You nasty nigga, you. And you just want to shake niggas' hands, you nasty. I'm only saying this because I have had conversations over the years with people who have fought tooth and nail about that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to argue with you, bro. Do what you want. Some people like, it ain't a sin if you ain't condemned in your spirit. Well, shoot, a punk feel the same way. Who told you that? That man didn't tell you that. That man say all unrighteousness is an abomination. So if you think that's right, then don't knock yourself out. See, that would be the problem. You think I'm not finna argue with you about that, bro. You say debauchery is the word. You ain't lied. Debauchery. You niggas is debates. This nigga walk around here with a bag on my head.
That's defiled. That's one of the definitions.
What's that? Was that debauchery?
No, that's samientos. That's not defiled. Or also free from that, which by the nature of a thing is deformed in the base.
Debauchery. You're free from debauchery. The marriage bed is free from debauchery. You're freaky behind nigga. You 69 God. You know, I ain't never really listened to that song, but I done heard that line. That line is hilarious.
That what you said last week.
Sometimes
you gotta pop out the show.
You gotta pop out the show. You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes you got to. Show these niggas I'm not to be played with. Come on, Dukums. Come on.
Advantage.
Come on. Go ahead. Keep going.
Said, let your conversation without covetousness.
Let your conduct stop envying and lusting after other people's stuff.
Content with such things as you have. For he have said, I will never leave you nor forsake you.
See, that's what people say. He said he'll never forsake you. Nah, if you with him, he won't. Go ahead.
So that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper.
That's right.
And I will not fear what man shall do unto me.
I don't care what man do.
Remember them which have the rule over you, who have spoken unto you.
That's good. That's what we came there for when he said about not forsaking you. That reminded me of something else we didn't finish, and now I don't forget. I can't remember. Go back to Isaiah 45. Go sleep. Go sleep. Do. Go sleep. You sleep. Go ahead. Where you stop at? We really need about verse 15, but it's okay. Where you stop at?
Verse 14.
Give me 13 again.
Said, I have raised him up in righteousness, and I will direct all his ways.
Mm-hmm.
He shall build my city, and he shall let go my captives.
That's
not
right.
not for price nor reward, save Yahuwah of hosts.
That's right.
Thus save Yahuwah, the labor of Egypt, and merchandise of Ethiopia, and of the Sabians.
Mm-hmm.
Men of stature shall come over unto you, they shall be yours. They shall come after you, and chains they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto you. They shall make supplication unto you, saying, surely Elohim is in you, and none else. No Elohim. Truly, you are Elohim that hide yourself, or Elohim of Yasharal, the Savior.
Mm-hmm.
They shall be ashamed and also confounded. All of them, they shall go to confusion together, makers of idols. Yasharal shall be saved, and Yahuwah with an everlasting salvation. You shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
For thus saith Yahuwah,
that created Shamahim,
Elohim himself,
that formed the earth and made it.
He hath established it.
He created it not in vain.
He formed it
to be inhabited.
So I am Yahuwah.
And there is none else.
So that's not a contradiction. Ecclesiastes 1 and 4, 2 Peter 3 and 10 is not a contradiction, because these people don't understand they're going to make a new heaven, a new earth where righteousness dwell. Ain't no righteousness on this earth. This earth is defiled.
Yeah, this earth can't abide forever.
This earth can't abide forever. It's too much sin done on it. It's too much beating and skeeting been going on around here. Too much killing and spilling. Done spilled too much blood. You think this earth gonna be able to abide, and this men around here climbing on top of each other? I ain't saying that to be vulgar. I'm saying that on the real. You think this earth gonna be able to abide, and there's men who have sexually assaulted women before? Don't you know that man say if you do that, man, you the same as a murderer? Don't you know that once innocent blood has been shed, the land is defiled? That's what your law say. Any innocent man who had ever been killed in the history of the world, the land was defiled the minute Abel died. Land was defiled. That was innocent blood. You know what I'm saying? And he said the only way to purge that blood is to kill the person who spilled it. You know what I'm saying? People don't consider those things when they look at what he say he gonna do. You know what I mean? Because our minds be on some other stuff. Really justification for your perversion and things of that sort. It was something else. I can't remember what it was. With that being said, since I can't, I ain't got nothing else. So hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. I appreciate y'all time this evening. I bless y'all at the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Prayerfully, y'all understood all of those things. Yeah, man, people crazy as all outdoors out here, man. You know what I'm saying? But y'all already know that. You know what I'm talking about? So only thing you can do is protect yourself. No way and consider. You know, that verse in Proverbs was a detour I wasn't expecting to take. It wasn't planned. But like I said, most of y'all come around here. I don't know who y'all listen to. I don't know where y'all go. But don't let nobody make no fool out you. That's all I can tell you. You know what I'm talking about? Amen, Brother Herman. Hallelujah indeed. Yeah. Don't let nobody make no fool out you, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we were talking about last night is these dudes who be running the live stream. She was like, yeah, this particular preacher runs 8-9 hour live streams. You know what I'm saying? She's like, one day I'm gonna sit and just count the super chats. Just not because she like concerned with what he gave, but she was like, she just noticed that these people give all this bread, and she was like, I ain't giving this nigga nothing. And then I told you, it's preachers who got Patreons, and you have to pay them money to get lessons if you're gonna subscribe to their Patreon. You ain't got no business subscribing to nobody's Patreon to get no word. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta, if the word is behind the paywall, I'm here to tell you that word probably trash. You know what I'm saying? The likelihood of that is very high. Amen, Brother Ernest, man. Nah, we don't have no super chat capabilities. Peace, amigo. So it doesn't matter. Amen, man. You be safe out here too, man. Love you too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir, Eric, man. But a lot of dudes push. I told y'all this before. It's a lot of Israelite content creators. They get on there, they live stream to really talk about other people and say they using the word as a means to illustrate what these people got. When I say talk about other people, I'm talking about they're calling them by name. You know what I'm saying? They're specifically addressing certain situations. They may be reacting to videos or things of that nature that these people have made. If that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. I can't do it personally. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the desire. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. I'm not here to knock a nigga hustle. At the same token, using the word to do that is contemptible in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And people like to give super chats to this and send cash apps and all this other type of stuff because I think some people are just so inclined to do that for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? And then complain that these people taking advantage of them. You know what I'm saying? But as I was telling her, you really are only supposed to be doing that when you're actually a part of a congregation. Being a part of a congregation don't mean that somebody got a member roll and everybody's name is on it. And people didn't operate like that. Do you know what I'm saying? These are modern things. It's a modern construct of having a member roll and everybody's name being on it and everybody doing this and doing that. You know what I mean? That's a modern thing. That's not how they operated ever. You know what I'm saying? These people were more concerned, as we talked about before, of having their name on the Sefer and Shamaim. You know what I'm saying? Or the Sefer of Kai, the Book of Life. That is the member registry that they were concerned with being on. Because there was no, I'm a member of First Church. I'm a member of AME such and such. I'm a member of, you know what I mean? That's just, no. This is just where they fellowshipped at. You know what I'm saying? So, but when they fellowship there, the things that we discussed, that's when those things were enacted. So I said all to say that if you're not fellowshipping with these people, meaning if you can't be physically there, if you can't actually get in contact with this man, I'm not talking about till he get to streaming or till he get on Clubhouse or he get on Facebook or he get on Zoom. I'm talking about that you can call this man. I'm talking about the reality that if you came to that city, you could pull up to his front door because he would invite you to pull up to his front door because you told him that you'd be in the city. You know what I'm saying? If you can't do that, then because at the end of the day, if this nigga's asking you for money, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be like I said, because we were talking about this last night. You live streaming. What you need a donation for, cuz? For what? Because what niggas like to say, to help with the ministry. To help you do what?
Keep it going.
No, because I gave it a contrast, right? You take Jodem. They make content. But they don't do super chats and other stuff like that. So the money they get from the ad revenue, they're investing that back in to get what? Better cameras. You know what I'm saying? And if you've watched their videos, you can see the quality of the content change. You know what I'm talking about? But even when they wanted to make movies or short films, they ask for donations because it takes money to do that. They're not making that kind of money. Okay, that's you. You want to support a creative because you enjoy their work. You want to see them make better work. But why in the hell is a nigga at the house asking you for a cash app? What he needs you to help him pay the Wi-Fi bill? Because unless he finna set up with a whole studio set up, what is he asking you? What is it going to? Does nobody ask themselves these questions? I don't think, because these are questions that I'm not asking like just to throw that out there. I'm asking these. I ask these questions. I would ask this question to myself. What are we paying you for, nigga? I don't even know you. But that's just me. He said, to be honest, most donations made these days are for attention for the donator, wanting their name to be shouted out and justified and being. That is true when it comes to the super chats, because the super chat is basically you paying for your comment to be read or highlighted. That's what a super chat is in the YouTube space. You know what I'm saying? like I say, man, if dudes got certain channels and their channels are monetized and YouTube's paying them, I mean, I ain't really got no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? But just when you get monetized, you're under the YouTube partner guidelines. So you can't say and do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because they won't take away your channel. They'll just demonetize you. And that's their right because they're choosing to partner with you. And you just can't sit back and be like, I should be able to say what I want to say and still get money with them. Because there's no area in life where you can do what you want to do and still get money with somebody. You know what I'm saying? People are like, oh, they stopping my free speech. No, they not. They didn't take away your channel. They just said you can't get money with us if you're going to act like this. If you're going to talk like this. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I don't need those type of restraints. Y'all already know they took some videos down talking about we were giving misinformation about COVID. Them videos was about 3-4 years old when they took them. I don't even know what we were talking about. Because we used to shoot videos on the camera and then upload them. You know what I'm saying? So, and certain stuff would be backed up, but shoot, ain't none of this stuff backed up. So if it's gone, it's gone. You know what I'm talking about? So what did that mean? You better make sure you on top of your game. I mean, preferably, me personally, of course, this is not anything tangible that I would expect a multitude of people to do. Me personally, I would never live stream. I would much rather prefer for every last one of you, for all of us to be in the same city at the same time. And I would never go live, ever. You know what I'm saying? Like if the mass majority of them, I'm talking about those of you who are out of town, who done reached out, or I see your name on here all the time. You know what I'm saying? Now it's different. Like, Johnny Goat, that's my nigga. East, that's my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like we done kicked it there. Like Sean on here, that's my nigga. That's, you know what I'm saying? We done been in each other's houses, things like that. You know what I'm talking about? Now that's not to say Marcus, Ernest, and Herman like to say, yeah, Joseph, yeah, y'all come, Omar, y'all come through the city. That's nothing. What I'm saying is, if it was up to me, all of us would be in the same city at the same time. I'd never stream. You catch me in person. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to. But that's not the reality that we have at this present time. Mother Sharona. You know what I'm saying? All that there. Oh, yeah, man. All you got to do is let me know when you're coming, bro. That's a light thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a light thing, bro. That ain't no big deal, my G. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's just because I've never cared about doing this. But now, by the grace of Yahuwah, he's allowed us to reach out to people who clearly don't live here. You know what I'm talking about? It would be selfish and irresponsible to say, I'm not going to do that because I don't particularly care to do that. You know what I mean? But if it was up to me and if the Lord made a way for everybody to be here at one time, and no disrespect to anybody if I forgot to mention your name because you already know time. Yeah, we would never get on here. So wouldn't get on Clubhouse. Wouldn't, because why would we? We'd all be together. There would be no need. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to stream. You know what I'm saying? We've been on here for 12 plus years. We ain't never made a dime from YouTube. Not a Russian nickel. Not nothing. You know what I'm saying? That is no exaggeration. Look on the channel. We don't have enough subscribers to be monetized. You got to have 1,000. Now, if you're looking at a channel that's been going for almost 10 years and you ain't got 1,000, what that tell you? And you got to have a certain amount of watch hours. You know what I'm saying? Then they review your content to see if they want to partner with you. So they don't just partner with anybody. You know what I'm talking about? So that's how that goes. I say that to say we'll never buy StreamYard and you see a Cash App tag running at the bottom. I'm not disrespecting nobody who do. You're not going to see that here. One, because I don't know how to do it. And two, I wouldn't ask nobody to set it up to do it. Ain't going to see no PayPal. Ain't going to see no Venmo. Ain't going to be nothing for no Zelle. You know what I'm talking about? It's not going to do it. That's up to you to do. Because guess what? If you ain't did it, guess what I'm going to be at tomorrow, Sylvie? In the trap. Don't make no difference. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you men this here because you never know when the time will come when he send you to do what it is that you're supposed to do. You need to know and understand these things. So you don't get, because a lot of brothers get frustrated and they're like, these people don't do this, these people, it don't matter what they do or don't do. What are you supposed to do? That's the only thing that you can control. You know what I'm saying? This man send you out here to put work on the street, then get to work on the street. Stop worrying about what they are or aren't doing. That's not your business. Do what the man told you to do. Everything else, take care of self. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. That's the thought process you got to have. Everything will take care of itself, but I'm finna go do what he told me to go do. You know what I'm saying? And if he been moving you to put that work on the street, go put that work on the street. If he telling you to occupy till he come, then chill out. You know what I'm saying? If he telling you to be a servant to your brother, you know, all the stuff we done read about, man, whether it's wisdom or a giving or serve, man, look here, man, if it's serving place, then serve the place, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter. It's all to his esteem. Ain't one activity bigger than the other, man. They all serve their purpose. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes, man. That's how you rock it. But, you know, again, I bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua, Yahuwah willing, man. We'll be back on here in the afternoon. Make it do what it do. This nigga still around here talking about cap, man. Talking about liars, wacky 100 and Tazzy Whack. Debate punked again. Old George. You say you pray that ice don't hit us. They say we supposed to get some flurries, man. Some McFlurries. Peace 10K, man. But yeah, the any of y'all who on here, man, if you didn't want to pull up, man, I done put my number in here before. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is let me know that you want to get at me. Pause. You know what I'm talking about? And you know what I'm saying? All you got to do is let me know when you slide through and then give you applicable information, man. Because I'm going to be honest with you. That's a light thing. You know what I'm talking about? Pulling up on us, that's a light thing, bro. I ain't going to lie to you. You know what I'm saying? There's people on here. Mika done did it. You know what I'm saying? Sean don't count, but, you know, he done did it. Mother Sharona done it. You know what I'm talking about? Who else on here? Brother Robert done it. Brother Marvin done it. You know what I'm talking about? That's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's really not. Misha done it. I ain't trying to. Kira done it. Oh, you already know, Bear. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, that ain't no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, you just seen Zadok and Yedadiah just did it. You know what I'm saying? Brother Nate. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they wasn't coming just for us. It just, hey, they got people down here. That was a daily double. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot. Civic had done did it. Tavon and Jessica had done did it before. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big deal. It ain't no big deal. East done it. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, ain't no big deal, man. Small thing, baby. Small thing. You know what I'm talking about? But Lord willing, till tomorrow. I know you niggas tired and it's cold outside. We'll pick it up tomorrow. All right, Club.